Hey, loungers, grand rising on this beautiful Sunday morning on November 3rd, 2024. Listen, guys, I am up this morning because the time has went back and I'm telling you, my body is definitely feeling it. Okay. And every time that happens, I always feel like a sense of almost like jet lag, right? Like everything's just seems so disoriented and just kind of out of order. So, here I am today. I was up pretty late last night anyway, so we'll get into all that. But we're definitely going to talk about the king of the sector and how that has trickled down and the effects that that has had on the sector as of right at this moment. Okay. I find it very funny. Like I said, I was up pretty late last night and I got to listen in to a few conversations last night. Okay. So we are going to talk about this stuff today. Make sure you guys do hit the like button on the way in. And like I said, guys, whenever I do get the time to, bust it up with you guys and chill, that's what I'm going to try to do. So, of course, this morning I do have a little bit of time. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. Make sure, again, that you guys are hitting the like button on the way in. Let me grab my intro. Because, I don't be going live like that too much. So we'll go ahead and get started, guys. Let's do the one of the original timers. Hey guys, hope everybody is doing well. For those that are in the chat, I appreciate you, Triggs and Living Life, for being in the chat as well. Make sure you guys do hit the like button. Guys, we are going to get into this, and congratulations, Triggs. Let's start with that. First of all, I was not able to partake in the voting last night, and I'm going to tell you guys why first. But I was very pleased with how the voting came out because I most definitely would have voted that way. The only thing that I would have changed about my vote would have been Pills would have definitely gotten much further than he did. Okay, so that's probably what I would have changed about it. But again, it ain't up to me, right? I think everybody else in the sector, they voted, they spoke for who they were looking for. But I definitely would have voted for Pills over, I believe it was Drama. Now I do fuck with Drama, right? But I do have a heavy little piece of my heart for Pills. And so I probably would have voted for him. But that's it. Other than that, I was very pleased with the voting and the way that came out. Derell, I was so glad he did not make it past the first round. It's not even funny, y'all. And I know that was a big blow to his whole, ego, because Derell goes based off of ego, right? So I thought that shit was hilarious. But I did like the way that things did come out in regards to the voting. But I wasn't able to vote because my son came in around probably around 7 last night. He was balling, playing ball with his boys, and he ended up falling. The ball went out of bounds, and he fell off the curb, and his ankle twisted. So I took him to the hospital because I wanted to make sure he didn't have a broken ankle. I'm a mom. I damn sure can take care of some sprains and some shit like that. I have done, had my share of, things like that happen in the family. And I've become kind of expert at taking care of like sprains and stuff like that. I know how to make slings and all that shit, right? Um, but I was concerned this one time because it was his reaction to me trying to touch his foot. I mean, he was just like really reactive to that. And it reminded me of when I broke my ankle years ago, and how in pain I was, and how like touching me made me want to fight, right? So, when I saw him kind of reacting with that same pain, I said, no, he needs to go to the hospital because I want to make sure he doesn't have, any broken bones there. So I took him to the emergency. We went through the pediatric part, which was great because that kind of fast tracked it. And he's fine. He's good. They do got a boot on his leg today. They're going to cast him on Tuesday, just in case, because they don't see the bone, like a broken bone in the X-ray. They don't really see one, but they're thinking that middle piece, that middle bone in the middle, like right there, they think that there's something going on with that. And so they're going to just treat it like it's a break, even though they're not sure. Right. But that part of it being broken if it is broken, is a good thing because it's a clean break. It'll heal on its own. And also, it's like in the middle part of the ankle. And so because it's in the middle, it's kind of protected by the outer bones. Okay. Now for me, I broke one of the outer bones, and that's why it took me forever to recover from that. It was a long time. I had to have surgery and everything. And that is what I did not want to happen, especially with him being an athlete, and him just, he's only 15, I mean, he's almost 16. So of course I don't want, him to have, surgery and stuff like this at such a young age. And, and being an athlete too is something that I really did not want to happen to him. So I'm thankful. I'm grateful for, what the turnout was, but that's where I was last night. So unfortunately I was not present for the voting process, but I'm pleased with the way that the vote did come out. I definitely would have and expected Triggs to win King of the Sector. So congratulations to you, Triggs. You definitely deserve it. You have been through a hell of a time in the sector this year. And, I don't know if any other any male content creators have been through as much as you. And so, or have even contributed as much as you have. Now, there are a lot of content creators that have contributed a lot. Drama definitely contributed. Shout out to P. He definitely did his thing this year too. Me and P had our kerfuffles this year. It was a lot that happened this year. But I think what really propelled Triggs to the top is not only his tenacity and, the ability to kind of keep up with everything, even after and despite all the bullshit. But, how much he really does love the sector is so definitely apparent, right? How much he tries to help the people of the sector, how much he's tried to support the people of the sector. Even if they're not as supportive of him, he does seem to come out and support everyone. And you got to acknowledge that, right? So I'm proud of him for that. I'm proud of him for, not, I mean, none of us are built like the type of people that are tuck our tail and run, right? Most of us in the sector are not like that. And so I'm proud of him for not doing that too, and just, kind of folding and just, bouncing all together. Because there's so many great content creators that used to be part of our sector that just are no longer part of the sector. They don't come around. They don't do anything. And so, our sector has gotten smaller and smaller. But, it's fine. We do have some quality content creators around here, and Triggs is one of them. And, you got to acknowledge that guy, even if you don't like him, even if you think, we're going to get into a couple of y'all in just a minute. Even if you don't like him, even if, whatever it is, you got to at least acknowledge that, right? How far he's come from the time that he first became a content creator to now. That's something to definitely be pretty proud of. So congratulations, Triggs. And I definitely wanted you to know that. Hey, Make a Change. I appreciate you being in the building. Mrs. Murph, I appreciate you being in the building as well. Yeah, it was pretty painful to him. He's doing better today. He's walking. He's got the boot on, but he's walking. He's not using crutches this morning or anything. So, kids always bounce back and shit. So, and he's also pretty healthy and pretty athletic. So, he's determined too. But I'm trying to get him to keep it easy because I don't want it to get further injured. And then he does end up with a break or something, a bigger break or something like that, just doing too much. So, I'm just trying to keep him, how you gotta do it with teenage boys, right? So, but anyway, yeah, let me see what you guys are saying. You said Derell who? Child, okay, like where he been at? Because let's talk about him real quick because he had my name in his mouth so fucking much a little bit earlier this year. So let's go ahead and talk about this bitch made nigga real quick because I find it so funny, right? That he had all this energy and all this shit for the quote unquote 1.0, right? Just talking all this trash about all these people when he had all these derelicts like rallying around him, right? And then once he realized, and I think this is what happened. Now I could be wrong, right? But this is what my opinion is of what happened. Okay. So I think that Derell came to his senses. Okay. Once he realized and once he saw that the remixes and, the Steffens and everybody that was falling out with each other, they started stabbing each other in the back. I think he realized that he had got set the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, he was the only one running around windmilling and telling these AFW talking points. He was up there. They had this nigga even go as far as apologizing to them. Okay. He apologized to Kip, to Break-In, to Stargate. He apologized to damn near everybody but AAS, okay, and Rev G. But then he started agreeing with their talking points and different things like this. We had she wasn't sharing his stuff on the community wall, but she was actually in agreement with the things he was saying. And it was like they were just kind of in sync. And they did this, and Anti did this so eloquently. I got to give her fucking props. I don't fuck with Anti. I think everybody knows that. I think Anti knows that. So, bitch, don't try it. But yeah, I'm going to give you your props for this, okay? Because if this wasn't the greatest troll move of the fucking year, it definitely fucking was, okay? And if she had won Queen of the Sector tonight, I don't know if I would be angry about that because I think that at this point, when it comes to this particular thing, that she actually does deserve a running. Now, who she's going up against, I'm not going to be voting for her, okay? Because I definitely fuck with Stephanie Collins. So I will be voting for Stephanie Collins. But if we were to talk about this and think about, the most effective troll in sector history, right? The most effective troll move in sector history, I definitely have to add Anti's troll move against Derell to get him to not only turn on his own lawsuits and turn on his own shit, but to then turn around and start worshiping the AFWs and apologizing to them even though they were wrong, but he's apologizing to them, embarrassing himself. They literally took him and dragged him through the center of town, right? Dragged his ass into the middle of town to make him confess to whatever crimes that they wanted him to confess to. And he decided to do it. Not only did he do that, but then he went in and he doubled down on these things. He tripled down on these things, right? See, Derell don't get under my skin when he talks about, oh, GJ drama, he did this, and Triggs, he did that behind the scenes and all this other stuff, because Derell fails to realize that the same way that he can talk shit, everybody else can talk shit, and they can show evidence of these things. He had been in contact with both of these men, asking them and begging them for Anti's information, okay? Once he got that information out there, once he got their information, and he had an army of people that were willing to help him, not just drama, not just Triggs, that were willing to help him with this situation with Anti. I'm talking about people that were locked and loaded. They had information ready to fucking go, okay? Whenever he was ready, whenever the team that he was talking about was ready, this is what these people were willing to do. Anti knew this shit. She knew that he was her biggest fucking threat in the sector, okay? He was her biggest threat. If anything, he would be the one that would be able to not only expose her, but actually take her the fuck down. And that would start a trickle effect of other people being able to do the same thing. She knew this. So she decided to act about that, right? Get these troops together to start tricking this nigga into believing that they are on his side and they are going to look out for him and they are going to help him and they are going to get this for him and get that for him. And he fell for it like a fucking idiot, right? He actually fell for it like a fucking simp and like a fucking idiot, okay? And then turned around and started talking her talking points, started using her tactics, started doing the very same things that he was accusing them of doing, while they turned around and sat back and let him do it. They let him do it on his own. They put him front and center on an island by himself to perform by himself. And that's what he did. And then one day he looked up and realized that everybody had left him right there on that fucking island by himself. And everybody that he had isolated himself from, trying to get into the ranks of the AFWs, trying to angrily go after some men who he was just asking for help a couple months prior, right? While he's talking about all this stuff going on behind the scenes and people giving information behind the scenes and all this stuff, he was the main person asking for information behind the scenes, not only from Triggs, not only from drama, but from multiple fucking people. And those same people, they actually trusted Derell. They actually believed in him. They actually were looking to help him. But once they realized that he was doing this, and it started to look like he'd been working with Anti that whole time. It started to look like he was trying to set up these same people that he was asking for assistance. Because that's what it looked like after he started exposing Triggs and exposing drama and lying on these men. It looked like that's what he was willing to do with everyone that wanted to help him. And so Derell realized at this point, once them 2.0 motherfuckers started stabbing each other in the back because they didn't have nothing else, because we all decided to fall back and just let these niggas do what they do, right? Let these niggas snake each other. We fell back and we let that happen. There was nothing else to talk about eventually except each other. And so they started stabbing each other in the back, one by one, slowly but surely. And that left Derell vulnerable, because everybody who would have protected him at one time, everybody who would have been there for him at one time, are no longer there. And it's his fault that he, kind of isolated himself from this protection and from these people, all out of God knows what, for some men that he was just asking for their assistance. Yeah, you did that to yourself. And it's really difficult to feel sorry for you with that. It is. You did that to yourself. But that's exactly what has happened in this situation. Now you're left vulnerable to all the elements, right? Now you kind of got to surf your way out of this situation and do it on your own, because nobody's going to help you with that. Nobody's going to assist you. Not after you're looking like you're trying to be an AFW. I don't care how much you get up and scream and lie. You let these people tell you lies, hand deliver lies to you, lie roast to you about me, about all kinds of stuff, claiming that I was scamming my members, all kinds of shit that you said. See, the members know you're lying, right? They know that didn't happen. But this is how far you were willing to go. They just hand you some lie about me and you just ran with it. Oh, my God. Oh, I got some news. Oh. And you didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. And once you realized that they set your stupid ass the fuck up, that's when you went fucking ghost. That's when you went ghost. That's when you stopped going live. That's when you stopped talking about 1.0, right? And all this other shit. Because at that point, you had no choice but to realize that them AFW set your stupid ass the fuck up and you fell for it. And now you can't get out of that. The only way you can get out of it is by swallowing your fucking pride and admitting to your bullshit. That's the only way you'll be able to get out of that. And you, Derell, you got too much of an ego for that. You got way too big of a fucking ego. For a small man, you got a big ego, And that is the reason why you're in the situation that you're in. That is the reason why, people are looking at you like they look at you. And that's the reason why you've been ghost. Let's be honest. You can say whatever you want, to try to save face with us. But you know damn well that's the reason why you've been ghost. Because you don't have anything else over here. Your time is up. You did that to yourself. You had a lot of people that worked with you, that fucked with you, that walked with you, that supported you. And you took advantage of those people for no reason at all. For no reason. I mean, I kind of have an understanding and an idea of how this happened, right? That's my speculation though. But, either way, yeah, that's unfortunate for you, Derell. Maybe you will stop being such a simp. Maybe you'll stop being so stupid. You'll use your mind. You'll use your educated mind to make much more educated decisions. But yeah, you pretty much fucked up, sir, with that situation. And like I said, you can't go back now and try to retract this stuff, because I know got all that shit on video of you trying to pay people to dox people and all kinds of stuff and lying on people and doing all the things that you claim that they do. Yeah, I know that she got you on video doing that shit. I know she does. So I'm going to give I'm going to hand her that fucking win. She won that shit. She definitely got you when it came to that. And that's fucked up for you. But it is what it is. But yeah, Derell who? Ciao. Yeah, I haven't seen Drama in a minute too. I do see him every so often drop down out of the clouds and stuff. Excuse me, y'all. I'm trying to light up. Anyway, I do be seeing him drop down out of the clouds every so often, and I think that's fine. The sector has definitely changed. The environment, the temperature of the sector has changed a lot. And people are just not really interested in the bullshit anymore. We're going to talk a little bit about this because Photon had mentioned some stuff, and I'm going to talk about his show from last night. No, I did not clip your show. I don't clip most of the time. I don't clip people's shows. Sometimes I will, but I'm going to talk a little bit about his show because his show was quite interesting. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't hear it. Okay. So we're going to discuss these things. And if I'm lying, I'm flying, Photon. You can definitely prove me wrong, okay, by putting the video back up, okay? But we are going to discuss this today because I found this shit to be crazy. But anyway, yeah, I haven't seen Drama in a minute, but I think he's doing well. He seems to be doing good when he does come out. So it is what it is. Miss Murph, I do appreciate you being in the building. You guys are saying hi to each other. Yeah, he's fine though. I mean, he's pretty resilient, and like I said, he's fine today. He's walking around. He got up, made his own breakfast. That kind of stuff. So he seems to be fine. I don't even know if it's even broken. I just think that if it is broken, it's in a good place, where it is. So thank God for that. You said that's painful. Hope he's okay. Thank you. Yeah, he's fine. He's good. You said living life. Hey, make a change. Appreciate you being in the building. You said hairline fracture. Yeah, that's what they're thinking. But it's like in the middle of the ankle. So all the other parts of the ankle is kind of like keeping it in place. So that's kind of how that is. What's up, Dr. Steele? Appreciate you being in the building. Yeah, Derell who? Okay, child. He done fucked his whole fucking world up out here. You said morning all. Hey, T Pre listener. Hey, you're too big. Definitely appreciate you being in the building as well. You said, I agree. You said, yeah, Matt, I missed it too. Had to help my baby girl move SMDH all by myself. And a nigga is sore today. Shit, okay. That's how that go. That's how that go. You said Triggs definitely deserves it. Yes, he does. He definitely does. You said, thanks, Pre. No problem. You said, appreciate it, Skinny. You said, too big. I'm sure she appreciated your help. Yeah. You said, Ray Triggs, what are your plans for the sector over the next year? That's a good question. What are your plans for the sector for the next year? What direction do you like to see the sector go? Is it something that you take seriously? Because I'll tell you, with the Queen of the Sector thing, it depends on what was going on how serious I took that, right? And like if I felt like there needed to be some changes with some things, or if I felt like shit was just completely outrageous and shit like that, you know what I mean? Then yeah, I would. There were things that I did voice, right? So I would like to know what your plans are and what you plan on doing. I guess maybe you're going to wait for just find out who's going to be the queen. I'm gonna tell y'all who I think is going to be the queen, but matter of fact, let's talk about that real quick. So I definitely think that Divine or Raw B is in the running for queen. I also think that Eyes has a chance of winning that too. So between the three of them, I think that's who will come up this year. Yeah. Now I can't say for sure. Raw B is pretty new to the sector, but let's know Raw B anyway. And so I think that would be a reason why she would win, right? She's also done a lot for the sector. When it comes down to her fight counts, right? Shit. I mean, she came in battle tested already, but then came into the sector with the whole battling with Eyes and shit like that, which was one of our major contenders here. So, and then when she body bagged Kip, right? I mean, to this day, he still has not spoken on that. Okay. Like he want to go talk to the FBI, the CIA, the IRS, but not the RAW. Okay. He don't want to talk to Raw B out this bitch, but he damn sure want to talk to the police and all these other people, over people who didn't do not even a quarter of what Raw B decided to do on this nigga. Okay. She showed us so much shit about Kip. From his 3 failed marriages, where all 3 wives were talking about him being an abusive man, how he had foreclosed on his home. I mean, it was how he owed furniture. He owed money to furniture companies. He talking about Laquan with fucking Rent-A-Center and shit. This nigga owed Raymore and Flanagan. Like, what the fuck? Like, nigga. Like, I mean, he had a whole house full of furniture and owes money to a furniture company, right? Like there was so many things that were on this man's shit that, Raw B put that nigga all the way in the fucking dirt. She made him fucking leave the sector for a good minute. Okay. So you got to give Raw that shit. I mean, you got to give her shit. You got to give her props for that. Not only that, but she has brought the technology up. A lot of us want to, get in bed with her and get some technology things going. I even want to do that. I just haven't had the opportunity to sit down and consult with her, but I really do want to do that too. And then every time I think about it, I kind of forget to do that. But so anyway, she is definitely in the running for Queen of the Sector. I have to give her that, especially with her just being a rookie and being new to the sector. She definitely has solidified a spot in that. Let's talk about Eyes real quick. So Eyes, the reason I think that Eyes, number one, Eyes is a kind of an OG around here. She's been around for a long time. She has the hair stuff going on right now, which I find great. Those wig making things, I think that is great. Eyes is always doing something with aesthetics and beauty and stuff like that. And the way that she talks, she's funny. She makes you laugh. There's really good reason for her to become Queen of the Sector. She's also had her share of kerfuffles as well, not only with Raw, but with, all kinds of people, right? All kinds of different people she has gone back and forth with, from Duke Pharaoh, all kinds of motherfuckers, right? She was over there in the Mo 3 kind of dealing, going back and forth with some of these people. She's been on the beef sector. She's been over in the beef sector just doing her thing too. So shout out to Eyes. I think definitely Eyes is and can be in the making for Queen of the Sector. She's still going with Conscious Energy. We have a whole holiday in the sector based off of what Eyes did on August 20th, right? So, that's kind of like our thing. That's a new thing that we got going on around here. And if it wasn't for Eyes, we wouldn't even have that day, right? So I definitely think that Eyes is definitely in the making for Queen of the Sector as well. The third one is, and this is not in any order, I'm just mentioning these ladies. Divine 7. I think Divine is not only fucking hilarious, okay? Listen. Divine will cuss you out, Megwan, okay? Wagwan. Like, she got this whole Jamaican, she got this whole Jamaican English accent going on. It is fucking hilarious to hear her cuss people the fuck out, okay? And she got motherfuckers in her feelings. I'm gonna tell you something, Divine. I'm gonna tell you something, okay? And this might sound crazy, but I have to say this because it's true. If you don't land on the desk of some of these trolls like Photon and them who want to talk shit, they want to evaluate your whole show, and they want to just talk all this shit and keep throwing you under the bus. And every time they turn on their camera, they got to talk about you, right? Trust me. There's kind of like a mark, or it's kind of like a way of passage in this sector, okay? You got to get hated on by Photon. You got to get blocked by Keeper. There's just certain things that go on that make you an actual content creator in our sector, right? Even though it irritates, and I get it. I've been there already with Photon, where every video I do, he plays the full video and he expects people to watch the video on his show, and and just want to talk shit and call me all kinds of names, call me all out my name, which we're going to get into Photon in just a minute, okay? Because, child, you was acting a fool last night, sir, in the wee hours of the morning when you thought nobody was watching, okay? But yeah, I didn't get to sleep until late because, I still have my adrenaline rushing from being in the ER with my son. So, I was up last night, okay? And I was listening to these motherfuckers, and this shit was nuts. We are going to get into it, okay? But anyway, yeah, so Divine, I expect people like Photon to talk shit and to try to drag, and everything else, because he literally has nothing else to do. He has no other content, okay? He just does not. So the only thing he can do is try to downplay all the content creators in the sector. Like, that's just what he does, right? He'll find some way to, because he's not as popular as you are, because people don't engage with him like they engage with you or like they engage with other content creators. He will find some way to talk shit about you, to make up stuff about you, to lie roast you, to claim you were bodied and all these other things. Like, he just does stupid ass shit like this, to kind of get under people's skin because he's a fucking troll, So, it just is what it is. Oh, my bad, y'all. Can y'all hear me? I don't know. I lost connection for a second. Anyway, it just is what it is. And I just want you to know, when you start getting that kind of momentum and you start getting that kind of attacks and stuff from Photon and different things, just know you are on the right path. Just know you're doing what you got to do. Okay. We fuck with Divine around here. I actually like her. I have a lot of fun when I'm over there. She's so vibrant. She's so funny. And she definitely deserves Rookie of the Year. She has no problem coming up and, coming up on the panel, on other people's panels, supporting other channels. She has no problem with, bringing people to her panel and they can speak their speech and talk their shit. And she's not muting people and putting people backstage like D Detel be doing. And, like some of these other pussy ass niggas be doing, they be blocking you and all this other shit like Phony Ton be fucking doing this shit. She ain't doing all that. She just comes real, comes correct, and let you know she from them streets of London, honey. Okay. Okay. And, I got to fuck with that. So shout out to Divine. I definitely think she also is in a strong candidate for Queen of the Sector. And she's consistent as well. So, some of us are not able to be consistent. I acknowledge myself. Yes, I have done a lot with the sector too, including the Survivor Series and stuff like that. But I'm not as consistent as these three ladies have been. These three ladies definitely have the time to put into this. And you need the time to put into this in order to be consistent with YouTube. So that is why I don't want to, put myself in that ranking. But for them three ladies, I definitely do think that they have a very strong chance of becoming Queen of the Sector. And that's where I'm at with that. So, Triggs, looking forward to hearing what your plans are. Hey, Carrie, I appreciate you being in the building, sis. What's going on? You said, Miss Murph, I'm going to develop a strategic plan and then throw it in the garage. You said living garbage. Okay. You said living life. You had to see my granddaughter trying to help me. LOL. She's 3 and thinks she can lift everything. That's funny. Oh, speaking of grandbabies, so let's talk about my grand real quick. So, honey, listen. While we were at the ER last night, we were on the phone with everybody because the family has this group chat, so we're all in there and everything. And so we were in there just talking. And my granddaughter is now trying to she's moving right along, guys. Okay. I really think it's, when they say that a baby just starts moving right along and starts doing all kinds of stuff, that there's another baby, right? Somewhere. So I don't know. We'll see, right? We'll see what happens. I was like, Jay ain't told me nothing yet, right? And the other kids ain't really said nothing yet either. But this baby is walking, y'all. She literally stood up last night. While we were on camera, she stood up last night and she started taking little steps. Now, her brothers, her uncles have done that. Okay, so my oldest son and my youngest son, neither one of them ever crawled. They both just walked one day. Okay, and so that's kind of something that does happen in the family. I don't know who started that phenomenon. It damn sure wasn't me. It damn sure wasn't my brother. So I don't know, right? But yeah, that is a thing. There are babies that do not they don't crawl, and that's where she's at. So shout out to my grand. Okay, she will definitely be able to drive the car that she's getting for Christmas because she's walking. Okay, so just wanted you guys to know that is some awesome news about my grand, and I'm really excited about her. I love that little girl. She's so awesome. Hey, Divine, appreciate you being in the building, sis. And you said, hey, to Triggs. You said they had D Derell on an apology tour. Right? They had him on a fucking apology tour. I'm so sorry, Kim. Us ain't mean it, man. Breaking, I'm so sorry that you were lying on me, Yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry, man. Like, what the fuck is that? Oh, Stargate, I was so sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't make no goddamn sense, man. Don't make no motherfucking sense, man. You said, hey, to Carrie, you said Derell went out bad. I mean, it was so bad. It was so bad. I had this conversation the other day with somebody who's neutral between us. And the person wanted me to, have a sit down with Derell and have a conversation. Hell fucking no. Fuck no. First of all, this nigga lied on my family, lied on me, right? Like, what the fuck I gotta talk to him for? Like, I don't need to talk to him about shit, especially if he can just go back, right? Sometimes, people say, you gotta be the bigger person. No, the fuck you don't. Not every time. Okay, that's not always the way that this shit goes. Sometimes motherfuckers need to just sit back and let motherfuckers look stupid, okay? This nigga, if he want to know what happened, he can go back. All the videos are still there. He can hear what the fuck I really said, right? What I said to Carrie, what I said about him, and how I really felt, and how he decided to go off and listen to a couple of trolls troll him out of his own lawsuits and all his other bullshit, right? That he can go back and listen to what was really said, now that he's not emotional anymore, and he can realize how stupid he was, how wrong he was, how much he lied, and that's just where he's at. He went out fucking bad. And I don't fucking feel sorry for his stupid ass. I really fucking don't. You said, is Stefan in the Queen's contest? No, I think that was like a joke that, that was like a running joke that Triggs had said and so forth. But no, I don't think he's in the running for Queens of the Sector. He was in the running for King of the Sector. But he didn't get very far with that. You said, facts, they're not done with him yet either. Girl, they're not done with him. They're not done with him. They are going to make sure that she's going to make sure that she makes Derell an example. She's going to do it. And you know what? I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him at all. He deserves every bit of that. He really does, because it was fucking stupid. Hey, Steph Collins, appreciate you being in the building. You said, speaking of the flag, and she will appear. Okay. Appreciate you, sis. He said, I didn't notice he was gone. Okay. You ain't even give a fuck that he was gone, huh? You said, hey to D7. You said, hello, Miss Murph, living life, Stephanie, and 2B. You said, hey to Stephanie. You said, hey, Miss Thangs. You said, King Triggs. You said, hey, Josephine, appreciate you being in the building, sis. Congratulations tonight. You are in the running for Queen of the Sector as well. You said, Divine 7. You said, morning, Miss Murph. You said, hey to D7. You said, D7, is it tea time? You said, afternoon, D7. You said, damn. You said, anti-broke Derell. Hey, Speak, appreciate you being in the building. She definitely did. She trolled the fuck out that nigga. She trolled the shit. I mean, that was the ultimate fucking troll move. And any allies or anybody that would have fucked with him, that would have had his back, we are looking at him like, hell no, nigga, you on your own. Like, because it's clear, or at least that's the way it appears, right? And she did this on purpose, that she wanted it to appear like, D. Derell was setting people up the whole time. That's the way she wanted it to appear, and that's how it looks. So, it's unfortunate for him. It's fucked up, ain't it? Well, hey, he did it to himself. You said, hey, too big. You said, hey, Steph. You said, to speak easy, she had him eaten out of her hands. Exactly. He knows it. This is why he's so absent. This is why he won't go live. This is why he won't talk shit. This is why. Because he knows that she did that. He know. It took him a second to see it, right? But he couldn't see it at first because, he was kind of on this adrenaline rush with these other derelicts, and then once the derelicts started slapping each other in the face and started stabbing each other in the back, he realized that he was on the wrong side of history. And he was like, oh, oops, my bad. Like, yeah, like, bro, you fucked up, period. You fucked up. And that is what I was trying to tell you the whole time. That's what I was saying. And instead of you you want to get all emotional and talk shit and why are you standing up for Triggs and why are you doing this over me and all this other bullshit. You just didn't listen. And that's why you fucked up now and on that island by yourself. You said the speakeasy too. Buster said it best. Woo-ha, got them all in check. Okay? Don't make no sense. He said, Mac, shit's crazy. It is. It really fucking is. You said, hey, Speak. Hey, Mac. You said, hey, Miss Murph. You said, hey to Carrie. Hey, Peter Panel Killer. Appreciate you being in the building. You said, Derell is the male star. Exactly. We're going to get on star in a second, y'all. You said, speaking of anti-adapters, okay? You said, Derell really thought T-Pre was going to co-sign people saying weird shit about Triggs' children. Yeah, I don't understand why he thought I was comfortable with this, and I knew what he was doing was AFW moves, and I just was telling him like, "Are you okay? Like, what is going on? Why are you doing all this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is really going on? Like, you act like I'm not aware of the fact that you'd been asking multiple people for assistance behind the scenes, multiple fucking people. It was way more than just drama and Triggs, right? But none of these people want to help you now. None of these people want to do anything. It's people that don't even be dropping out the clouds, y'all. It's people that don't even be like around like that would have been helping Derell, and they were helping Derell, and now they're looking at him like he's fucking crazy. I'm telling you what I know, y'all. Like, I'm telling you what I know. And it's just then that's why I was so mad because Derell and I were friends. I did fuck with him. But he just let himself get used by these people. He let himself get taken advantage of once again. And it's just nuts. It's just nuts, man. Like I can't respect that shit. I can't respect that. I don't really give a fuck about, as far as you lying and shit, I ain't gotta fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I just, now I just don't fuck with you, right? But at the end of the day, I don't really care because it's fucking lies. You know what I'm saying? But who does this? Who puts themselves in this kind of position like this and, allows an entire sector that you claim is your sector, you allow this sector to just completely, abandon you and turn our backs on you because we can't trust you. Like we can't trust you. We don't know what type time you on. You know what I'm saying? Because you literally started doing what the AFWs fucking do. And it just is crazy. You started apologizing to them publicly. You started, coming at all of their enemies and everybody that, they've tried to dox and they've tried to, to do things to. You started coming at them too, as if you had joined their ranks until they all started turning on each other. And then you realize like, oh shit, I don't got nowhere to go. Yeah, basically. That's what happened. That's what happened. And that's true. That's true. But one thing about our sector, Derell, and I will say, is that nobody really gets canceled around here. You might get disrespected. You might get dragged, right? But we don't really cancel people around here. So, whenever you're ready to come on back, we'll be looking for you to come back. But what you going to say? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you really going to say at this point? Because, this is kind of what you did to yourself. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what he was thinking when he thought I was gonna get in the ranks with that bullshit. You said, speaking of anti-adorers, right? You said, Miss Thang, hello, where you been, girl? Hey, Knowledge, I appreciate you being in the building. You said, after everything the AFWs put D. Derell through, why would you trust him? I can't be that stupid. Exactly. Like, and it just makes you wonder, Knowledge, right? It really makes you wonder. And I've had this conversation with more than two people. This is how I know people are really feeling this way. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Okay, my bad, y'all. Yeah, so it's just crazy what he allowed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Sorry about that. I had to take a phone call real quick. But anyway, it's just crazy what he allowed to happen after all that the anti and them put him through. All the doxing of his family, his kids, his wife's, criminal history, All of those things that were doxed on and were doxed on Derell on behalf of the AFWs, for him to turn around and do their same dirty work to other people who, by the way, he was requesting their help. So, like I said, if you're requesting these people's help, right, you're sending them, you're putting the feelers out for information. And then they tell you whatever they know, they tell you whatever information that they're aware of to help you. And then you turn around and throw them under the bus with that same information. It's like, well, that makes it look like you've been working with her. And, anybody else that wanted to lock and load and help you ain't going to help you now, because now it looks like you're trying to set everybody up. That's what it looks like. It looks like you're purposely setting up everyone and giving anti everyone's information, all the people that are coming after her. That's what it looks like you were trying to do. You being so emotional and in your feelings over two other grown-ass men who don't got shit to do with you, right? You doing that is why you now look like a fucking snake. Like, period. You look like a whole fucking snake out here. Ain't nobody fucking with that shit. That wasn't me just talking shit. I was warning you. You don't listen. Don't fucking listen. You said he really thought I was going to co-sign trying to get someone locked up. But because he's jealous, Triggs had a popular show. Like, and it's the things that these people get angry about, right? It's the things that the Photons and the Derells and them and the Stargates and and them and the remixes and them get angry about. That's just absolutely nuts. And like I said, we're going to get into Photon show in just a moment, because I found that shit nuts, y'all. It was fucking crazy. I felt like I was in the Matrix watching that shit. You said, make a change. I'm on a Secktah diet, limiting my screen time. Okay, that's good. Yeah, because that's what I've been doing too. He said, sorry, I missed you. Too big. Good morning. Redbone, I appreciate you being in the building, sis. He said, hey, T-Pre in chat in the clouds. He said, Miss Thanks, that's a good thing. We all have to do that sometimes. That's a fact. That's a fact. You said I was sleeping while Photon was crying. Child, I wasn't, because I'm telling you, I had like the adrenaline of being in the ER with my son that I just couldn't sleep. I didn't get to sleep. And then also the time changed last night too. So it gave us that extra hour. And, I didn't go to sleep until like 4 a.m., guys, right? 4 o'clock in the morning. Real shit. Okay. Usually I'm asleep way before that, but I didn't get to sleep till about 4. Good 4 o'clock in the morning. So I heard the whole thing. Okay, and we're gonna talk about it today, y'all. We're gonna talk about it. Get your asses in here. Y'all gotta hear this shit. You said, I'm sure Drama is living his best life. Okay, Miss Murph. Miss Murph, I seen you in the chat last night, so I think you heard what I'm about to talk about, girl. I think you heard some of this shit. You said, LOL. You said, shout out to Raw B. Word. You said, has Remix went live about it yet, Triggs? LOL. I don't know. I haven't checked on that, but I want to touch base on how Remix reacted in the chat, right? Because I did the replay on LV's show. I was going to tune in while I was at the waiting room, but I really didn't want to. I wanted to tend to my son and just make sure he was okay. And so, I waited till I got home and I said, well, let me go ahead and just get the replay on this. And I was watching the chat too, and Remix was really in his fucking feelings, y'all. That nigga was really in his fucking bag over this shit. I don't really understand. And I think I'm a preference this next part of what we're about to talk about with this. I'll be honest with y'all. I was serious, and shout out to Raw B, because me and her were talking a little bit the other day on Triggs' channel, and I was telling her, like, I don't do campaigning and stuff for this because I don't take this that seriously, right? Depending on what's going on, I might, like, if I am queen of the sector or something like that, depending on what's going on, I might interject and say something about something. But most of the time, I don't really care. These are grown people in this sector. I don't feel like I need to be, ruling over a group of grown adults, right? Especially I'm not getting paid for that shit. So, I don't take it too seriously. And I don't think most of the sector does. I think even Triggs doesn't take it that seriously. I think, it's just bragging rights for some people. For some people, it's, it's not really that deep, right? Um, so I don't think any of us are really, taking it too seriously, but it's always the rejects of the sector that are always in their bag about these award shows, right? We're content creators, and it takes a lot of our time to go live and to put together a show for the masses, right? Put together a show for the audience. And even in the chat, it takes a lot, and I'll acknowledge this. It takes a lot of your time too to come in, acknowledge everybody in the chat, speak to the content creators, for those that moderate for people, moderate for chats and different things like this. It's a lot to keep this whole wheel of YouTube going, right? This whole thing going. And so, when you have content creators like Drama, like LV, that do these award shows and stuff, and just shout out to you for being that Triggs and people that do these award shows and stuff for people. It's really nice to get together and to just kind of reflect on some of the content that has brought us the most entertainment, right? Some of the content that we really love and support and stuff like this. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, no problem. Thank you, Mod. I appreciate that. Yes, let me tell y'all something. Y'all not going to come in my chat doing that doxing bullshit. Okay, I don't give a fuck about y'all feelings and emotions over these people on YouTube. Y'all need to get outside a lot more. Okay, all of y'all, the ones who are in their feelings about somebody being king of the sector and queen of the sector and stuff like this, y'all spend way too much time on the internet. And y'all need to go outside. Y'all need to get some fresh air, right? Because you should not be this invested in people you have never met. You really should not. And a lot of you are way too invested in this, and it's unhealthy, and it's you can see it. Okay. So we're gonna get into that stuff now. Now, like I said, Remix was in his little bag and in his feelings, and just feeling some kind of way. But he didn't want to hit that link, right? LV had dropped the link and had made sure, the link was there for Remix to come up and talk his shit to Triggs and stuff. And his only response was, I don't hit pussy niggas links. I don't do that shit. I don't talk to pussy niggas on the panel, but you'll talk to pussy niggas from the chat? Like, I'm confused about that, right? If I got something to say to you, I'm just going to hit that fucking panel and say it. What the fuck I'm going to sit in the chat crying and typing up whole Wikipedia entries and shit over shit, and then I'm claiming that y'all not even important enough for me to be talking to? Well, if y'all not important enough, why am I? It takes more energy to type that shit than to just get on the fucking panel and say what you got to say. Like, for real, okay? So, like I said, y'all niggas need to go outside because y'all ain't got shit to do, obviously, okay? Y'all literally sit around miserably watching people you can't stand and then turn around and cry about it for days and days and weeks and months at a time. Like, that shit is nuts. It is fucking crazy. Okay. And I just had to bring that shit up because I thought that shit was fucking crazy. And it only started there, right? But it ended on Photon. Okay, we are going to talk about that. You said, I'm queen. No one did more than me this year. Okay. You said, Raw definitely came in strong. Damn, she did. She did. And so did Divine. You said, Miss Thangs, you have a point for sure. For sure. You said, Two Pig, I get no credit. You have done a lot, Carrie. What's good, Defrauding? Appreciate you being in the building. You said, Raw whooped her ass and she ain't been the same since. You know what? You said, Miss Thangs, it's going to be a good one. Yeah, you said shout out to Eyes for sure. You said he's coming back on Valentine's Day. You said shout out to Raw B. You said Defrauding Smoke Out. You said if Raw doesn't win Queen, she's definitely Rookie of the Year. Y'all said, y'all see how my friend doing me? Divine. Well, Carrie, I think you and I are like, we sit aside, as a different breed here in the sector. And, I think this year, I think somebody else deserves to get that attention. And I think that's where I'm at with that. So that's where I'm at. Hey, DBZ Nation, appreciate you being in the building. You said Defrauding was good. You said Miss T Pre Grand Rising and peace and blessings. You said D7, too damn funny. You said when T-Pre drops the link, I'm going off. Okay, let me hit the link. Let me drop the link for you. Carrie about to go off. No. All right, there go the link. There go the link. You said DBZ Nation was good. You said Smoke Dog salute. You said peace salute. Too big. You said if Photon says you boring, you've made it. Okay, basically. You've made it if he says that. You said I understand. You said decline 7 got them niggas mad. You said Stephanie Collins Grand Rising peace and love. You said, oh, Miss T-Pre, I hope your son is okay. Yeah, he's fine. He's good. He's walking and doing everything. He's just got a boot on right now. You said DF. Okay. You said the speakeasy salute was good. You said one more time, Smoke, I know what you are doing. You said this is some BS for real. What's up, LV? Appreciate you being in the building. Miss Murph said, I would like to see more diverse content and less reviews of reviews of reviews. Okay. So here's the thing about that, right? When people say what they would like to see, and they've been here for some time, and they're now on the panels, see, us content creators who have been around for a while, we're now expecting you guys to take the ranks. Right? We're expecting you guys to start coming in and doing what you're telling us we should be doing, right? Because it's not as easy as it sounds to just get up and just perform and do content, right? Sometimes the reviews are cool. I actually like doing reviews sometimes, like I'm about to review a show. But again, I'm not necessarily going to show his channel, show his show, right? I'm going to, because that's ultimately what YouTube is. It is a bunch of reviews of other things, other stories, other situations, even if it's true crime, if it's whatever, right? It's always a review of other things. So if you feel like that is something that should be contributed to the sector, then I'm expecting and hoping to see you start creating that kind of content for us. But shout out to you, Ms. Murph. Hey, Carrie, what's going on?
Hey, T-Pre. Bugsy said, hey, I'm glad your son is doing okay.
Yeah, he's good now. He's good now. Yeah. So what's up?
Okay. So you kind of just took my thunder away by saying me and you to the side from all this. Now I feel petty, but let me just go on my rant.
Okay.
I just feel like a lot of my sector accomplishments.
Hey, honey.
Oh, go ahead, Carrie.
I just feel like I have never really gotten my props, right? Because I made Shakim cry, right? Multiple times after he was supposed to be bullying me, right? I made Rev G cry, and go play professional victim on a whole new level, right?
You definitely did. Yeah.
Roasted Brianna, I roasted Gates, I roasted Pills, I roasted Stargate, I roasted Break-In, I roasted I have done, and it's just like it would just be different if I felt like I ever got my flowers. Not to mention, people put me on the news. Like they put their best prostitutes and birds and undercovers on the mission to try to get me. And I ate all that shit and spit it out in their face. I never cried for them the way that Red G and Shakim cried for me. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just like I roasted Alan, I roasted Smoke, I roasted Pills, I roasted Hoodie. I gave such a good roast to Hoodie. And
you did.
Not to mention, yeah, I give so much.
Don't mind me, y'all know.
And so I just like, I feel you on us being set apart. It's like, why should you and me be in the same competition with somebody like D7? Because she does deserve her props, but it should be a rookie of the year. And damn it, I am the queen this year. I have been murdering shit. Like, dude, that show that I did with Triggs was legendary. Legendary. Not to mention when I told Smoke that 2 + 5 = 7. And he went, that was one of the funniest moments. So I don't mind losing to Verla because she is the rightful queen. And always will be. To the sector. Shut the fuck up and get the fuck off of YouTube. It's one of the funniest things that ever happened.
I do think Verla's funny. I do, but
no.
She don't.
But
She
these
Berla
young new
Berla wouldn't be
whippersnappers,
queen over you to me. I'm talking
um,
about the reason that I say raw eyes. And you know what? I could even pull eyes out of this if I'm going to talk about somebody who's new to the sector and who has really made waves in the sector, right? It's not that I'm not acknowledging the other women. I can talk
mhm.
about every single woman in the sector and the things that they have contributed, from Nikki to the diapers, right? And we're going to talk about Star in just a minute and how Star was crying over that shit last night. How um how she bodied Rev G, how there's so many things that
Oh, did
other
she?
women in the sector have definitely contributed. And we could say the same things about them, we could say the same things about me, but I'm talking about Divine. This is her first year actually coming
Right.
out, and she's making fucking waves.
I totally
Raw
agree.
B,
I just think that's what Rookie of the Year is for. And
but they
to
don't
me,
have that as a ranking. It's queen
he
of the
just
sector.
hasn't done it yet. That's gonna be like his next show, I'm sure. Hear me out. What I'm saying is, like nobody has contributed more than you. But I'm just saying 2024 was my year. I was going crazy this year. Like boom, boom, boom. Like again, I was on the motherfucking news and still came back swinging. Like seriously, I have like ate a lot. I did a lot. So I think 2024 was all Carrie. Quite, I really do. And that's what I think Queen of the Sector should be, is like not your legacy over time. Because I listened to a little bit of Photon last night, and the fact that Photon is still entertained about talking to Stargate about made up shit she imagined happening to her 3 and 4 years ago, like
Mhm.
I'm really starting to think that he is slow, you
Hey,
know.
Seth.
um, so yeah, I'm just talking about 2024. It was people that did entertaining shit, but
Hold on.
like,
Let me put a banner up so I can make sure that's Steph. Let me
I know
find
that's
one.
right.
No, it's
That's the
me.
three.
It's me.
Oh, okay. We can leave that banner up though, but go ahead. Y'all know I'm gonna be petty on Sunday. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I did a lot of work this year, and I think that I am Queen of the Sector this year. That's how I feel. And these young whippersnappers are great, but like I said, my roaster Brianna alone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was really murdering shit. I really was. Even for an OG, like, I feel like I really cracked my knuckles this year and went to work. Let me quit.
So you definitely did, okay? This is my thing about the whole thing. Like I said, the beauty of the show is that in the voting process, which we're going to talk about this voting process in just a second too, because Star was talking about that last night. Okay, so anyway, with the voting process, we all have the ability to have our thoughts and opinions about this, right? Anybody is willing to or able to, vote for whoever they feel like is the queen of the sector, and they're also, able to campaign for that, right? And I think you're right about a lot of things that you're saying. You definitely, did put in that work. You know, the only reason, like I said, I didn't just go and acknowledge the work of all the other women in the sector is because these two women in particular just
Yeah,
came into the content creation side of our sector just in the past 8 to 9 months, right? In the past
yeah,
year.
I agree.
So that's the reason why I was trying to, me personally, right? I'm personally just acknowledging these two ladies and saying, hey, let's go ahead and usher in, some new shit. Let's go ahead and usher in, a new era. And I think they're doing a great job in doing that. I think that they came at some of
I
the
agree.
biggest content creators in the sector, right? Which definitely puts Raw on a different level, right?
Yeah,
Divine doing the same thing, cussing niggas the fuck out, right? And putting niggas in a place and being able to hold an entire panel where everybody is entertained. It's a beautiful thing when a content creator can have a panel full of great people like I got right now, right? And have a conversation, and I can walk away for 5 minutes and come back and y'all are still engaging with each other. and the chat is
No,
still
I
engaged.
definitely, I
You know?
definitely agree. I don't really think that I should be in competition with Robbie and D7. I mean, it's LV's show, but yeah, I would definitely prefer to have a separate competition.
Mm.
Just because I do want recognition for my work, and yes, I'm that petty. I don't give a fuck. Give me my motherfucking flowers. Fuck that shit. But I mean, like I said, niggas came for me in real life, and I ate this shit like such a champ. I never played victim like Rev G. I just fucking won, and I
Right.
deserve a trophy for that alone. I really do. Like these niggas came for me so hard, and I ate that shit like such a champ. And I'm a, you know what? It's just I'm up here campaigning, but I also just want to be clear. Like I know that I am queen this year. I'm fucking patting myself on the back. I deserve that shit. I killed that shit. Motherfuckers could like me or not. It's true. At the same time, though, especially for D7, because Raw B been making content. It's more like she lended herself to our sector, which is I appreciate. But D7 has been doing what we've been begging some of these other people to be doing for a minute. Like quit complaining about what you don't like about the sector and just hop on the mic. And she really is surprisingly good at it. So
Yeah.
let's start there. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's time too for some of us. If y'all notice, the sector has evolved over the years, right? There's content creators that used to make really heavy content in the sector that are now part of the chat, right? That just come around. They make, I'll say we, because even me, right? I make much less content than I used to, right? But I'm still in the chats. I still support everybody. I still come around. I go live every so often, right? But it's time for new content creators, because there was a time where it was my time to become a new content creator, right? Where I was in the chat and I was supporting everybody and everything else. And then I started to go live. Instead of telling y'all what I want to see, I would just give you what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Right. And so let's do that. We got y'all all hitting the panels now. We got Miss Murph hitting the panel. We got YM hitting the panel. We got Clark hitting the panel. Let's go. Triggs already got y'all intros. Like, let's go.
And D7 goes live a lot. And
yeah.
D7 just go live to kick the bobos. Like she don't even be, it don't have to be no drama. She just come on.
Just come on and say and speak to us and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
So I definitely appreciate that. Yeah. And I have to say, I didn't see that coming.
Right. Which
Like
I
she
think a
came out
lot
of
of people
nowhere
did.
with it, like, oh shit. Okay.
Right. I think a lot of people didn't, but I think that's the beauty of it all, and the element of that is that, she does have talent to bring to us,
Yeah.
and it takes shit, it's kind of like I said, it's the rite of passage when you got bobos like Photon, that want to talk shit about it, right? So there you have
She
that.
talking shit about it. Yeah, like I said, when I
We've
tap
been
in,
talking about her since she been popping.
every time
But
I
that's what
clock
he
in, he
does.
be talking
He
about
does it
this
to
same
stop you.
shit.
Huh?
He doesn't what?
I said he does it because he wants you to stop, because you're getting the attention and he's not. That's how he
That
is.
shit is so much different from what I thought it was. But every time I clock in over on his channel, it's the same old tired, washed up people airing their same old grievances, largely made up in their delusional minds, lying, making up shit to victimize themselves. And like I said, I just, I thought that Photon and me could have done some funny troll content, but he just really wanted to sit up with his preferences and talk about the same shit over and over. Like, I can't believe I thought he was so smart and everything. Like, that shit is so weird. He'd be over there like, yeah, remember
fuck him. We're gonna talk about him real quick, but girl, stop worrying about that shit, because it don't even matter. All of us women have been through some shit where
I'm not worried. I'm just saying, like, he used to do so much complaining about how people need to innovate and chase the algorithm. And every time I tap in, Stargate, like, remember when they tried to kill my kids? Like,
well, that's what I was gonna talk about.
I know. He wanted to be amplifying the amplitude. He tried to be amplifying the amplitude, but what is he talking about? Really?
Made up shit from years ago. People victim.
Years
he got
ago.
the victim panel now. That shit is fucking. Was he ever smart? Did I imagine that shit? Because
no, you didn't.
Okay, I'm
Teresa. Hey, Teresa.
Hey,
yeah, I was gonna jump in.
Hey, that's my little honey bunny.
Hey, baby, how are you?
I'm good, babe.
That made me so happy hearing about the baby. So I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
was enjoying that. And then walking straight away.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
both my oldest and my youngest son did the same thing. So I'm not surprised. I just don't know where that phenomenon comes from in the family. I don't
Well,
know who did that.
I'm gonna just say this. I said that I wasn't gonna campaign, but being that I started walking around 8.5 months
Hmm.
without crawling, I feel that accomplishment in one of its
Hmm.
own.
Yeah, and
It,
that's what she is. She's almost
it,
9
Not
months.
you
So
bragging on when you started walking.
it's her. It's
my
straightforward.
oldest was 9 months, and my youngest he was 8 months as well.
Um, no,
They just
I'm just
start walking one day. They would be tired of sitting around looking at everybody else walking everywhere.
Right.
telling you, you got shit to do. You got shit to do. You got to get up and go.
Yeah, it's time to go. I got shit to do. Okay, that's what she said. But you know what that does mean? Y'all know, Teresa, you know, right? When
I do
babies
know.
start moving quickly like that, that sometimes means there's another baby. Now, that
And
didn't happen in the case of my son, right? And my
yes,
youngest son.
as
But
soon as
sometimes
Oh,
that means
really?
that.
Like they got to get out the way?
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
that's
when babies advance
what
real
I was
fast like that.
Yeah, I never
And you
heard
already
that.
know, because I've been telling you, I've been keeping you up to date, Carrie, on the shit she be doing.
every one of my
Right, but
nieces and
I
nephews,
never heard
every
that meant
one of them was
another
like
baby
that.
coming. Oh
Yeah.
wow. Could be, yeah,
Yeah.
could be right. Right.
Yeah.
And we really can tell with my one niece because her kids was like that. I was like, damn, you
Hmm.
pregnant? So me and the mama already knew. We was just waiting for them to tell
Right, right. So I'm waiting. Somebody gonna come tell me something.
us. All right, ladies, darling. Honey
All
bunny,
right, sweetheart.
All
Thank you
right,
for
my
coming out. You
queen.
know, I always love when you come and bless the panel. You're welcome to stay up here if you want to, because I'm actually I'm gonna talk about Photon's show. I want to
oh,
break down
girl,
a
I
couple
got
of
to get in
parts.
the chat so I can, and I got,
Okay, okay.
it's
I
Sunday.
gotta catch up in the chat.
Yeah, we
I gotta
gotta
catch
do
up in the chat. So you and Stephanie can get to talking, and then I'm gonna catch up in the chat real quick. That
Okay.
way we can
And
talk about Photon's show.
To say that.
that was
Oh,
crazy. I love
sorry.
you guys, and I'll see you later.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
My
sweetheart.
sound blinked. I didn't mean to
Right.
interrupt you. I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, you're fine.
I just came up to say, Carrie, you are my queen. Now I'm gonna go.
Okay,
Yay.
okay.
Best out.
All right,
Bye.
Steph. You're welcome to say if you want to, Carrie. I'm just gonna look in the chat real quick.
Yeah, go
So
ahead. Girl, I love
starting
Stephanie.
says, that's the Chicago Sergeant, because you and your feelings, nigga, I don't give a fuck. I really think it's nuts, right? That, some of these allies in the sector, start fucking with each other and they do some of this grotesque shit, and then they don't take a moment. Like I said, if you take a moment to just go outside, get off the internet for a little while, you don't have to be posting to the internet what you're doing. Y'all don't ever see me doing that shit. Like, I go out quite often. I be leaving,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't be here. But and Carrie will tell you, she know where
Yeah.
I be, right? Y'all would never know where the fuck I'm at, because it's not y'all business. And I don't want to be online and just living my life online, trying to
Right.
prove something to some irrelevant people who don't know me and don't really care anyway, right?
Well,
Like, go ahead.
for me, I try not to live my life like that anyway. Like, regardless of the sector, I try
Mhm.
not to be more of like, I'm gonna see if I can pull up this video. It's like people be more obsessed with their phone and what's going on around them.
Mhm.
And I really try hard to like be in the moment when I'm living my life. Like, I don't need to have a
Absolutely.
picture of everything I ever do and you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And posting it here and there. Let me tell you about a train ride like this. I was actually going to tell you about this because I want to take the ride, right? It's a train ride. I want to say it's in Canada. I gotta go look at it, right? I'll let you know. But it's a train ride, and they don't let you have your phone on this ride, right? Because it is such a beautiful scenery and a picturesque train. Like, it's like, there's like windows, big windows, all like at the ceiling and all down and stuff. And you can sit there and just watch, this beautiful scene, right? You see waterfalls, you see caverns, and, just stuff that you don't usually see, right? And they noticed that when they first started this train, I mean, it's an elegant train. It's an elegant train. You can have great dinners, like high class dinners and stuff like this on there.
Yeah.
Wine service.
Yeah.
So, what they said was at the time when they first started the service that people had their phones. They noticed everybody was looking at their phone.
Yeah.
All the time. So they would miss some of these beautiful things, because they're just in their phone paying attention to what's going on in there. And you got to live life, right? You got to get out of this. And
even when I go to a concert, even when I go to a concert, they'd be like, they'd be looking at Beyonce through their phone because they're recording it to prove they were there. But it's like you can watch Beyonce through your phone at home, like you're here.
Exactly. You're here. Enjoy the experience, right? I remember a time when we didn't have cell phones like this, and we weren't everything wasn't about that, right? It was what we were living in the moment. We were interacting with one another. What COVID did to a lot of people was really detrimental, right?
Yeah.
Just had people in the house, just kind of sitting around, and we, even in this sector, we got the roasting and talking our shit and everything, and people kind of got used to that. And they're not used to going outside and just enjoying life anymore, enjoying their families, enjoying actual life. You know what I'm saying? Like, life, you only get it once. You got to get out there and live it. And you're not getting no fucking younger. You know what I'm saying? So you got to live your life. Getting on here.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I still haven't really got back. And I mean, mind you, I call myself being celibate, which I am, but like how much of that really had to do with COVID and how easy it made it to, do you know what I mean?
To disengage people.
Yes, girl, yes. That's when I found the Secktah. Oh, hey, I found this. Can I share my screen?
Yeah.
And I know I got to get back on the comments, but yeah, I'm one of those people. Like I'm realizing now, like how too much of my time is being spent on the internet, and I need to get my shit together.
Yeah, a lot of people do. And it's just not healthy what's going on. And if you would take the time to reflect on that, right? Not get emotional, not get all like the Derell thing, right? Him getting all emotional and out of whack is what kind of fucked him up in this situation. And he realized probably now, like, I need to get the fuck up offline. You know what I'm saying? That's what I need to do.
The thing with Derell, and I'm gonna show this short little, it's just a short, but it shows our point from before. The thing with Derell is that, it's always been suspect that he wants people to believe he's a big dog, but he spends so much time in the company of people who are not on his level money-wise, what he wants us to believe is his level. Right. But that was one of the weirdest things about his spaz out and joining 2.0 is that it made it clear that he really sees Triggs and Drama as competition for him, and he feels threatened by them. And that was a very weird aspect of the whole thing to me. Like, he spends so much time online. He allegedly wants us to believe he has this good family life, he's financially set, but he mad that people watching Drama show. Like, what the fuck?
Right. Yeah, it was just nuts the way that he reacted to that. It was just really crazy. And it fucked him up. It is what it is. All right, but you can go ahead and play your video.
Oh yeah, it's just a little. This is a difference between New Year's Eve in 2000 and 2024 with the advent of cell phones. Like, look at these people. This is 2000, right? I mean, it's so cute. They're having so much fun. Like, everybody's, it's a regular New Year's, right? It's a short clip. All this 2000. I was a few years out of high school back then. And we didn't know how good we had it, right? Because here's 2024 coming up. Look at these people kissing and talking, and here, look, that's 2024. You see that? Everybody's filming the clock with their cell phone.
Yeah, that's nuts.
See that shit? It's like a robots or something. It's like nobody's dancing or kissing or hugging or talking. I mean, yeah, that's the whole clip. Isn't that scary as fuck?
Yeah, that's kind of deep too, because I've been to Times Square during New Year's, and it really isn't. It wasn't an experience where I had my phone out and a bunch of people had their phones out. We were all hugged. It was like older Chinese people and Indian people and white people and black people, just all sea of people just loving on each other. You know what I'm saying? And just happy that it was a New Year. And now, yeah, you're right. Now everything is, we got videos, everything's being recorded, everything is, it's all about the cell phone. It's all about that phone. And they literally have everything in the phone.
And nobody ever, you're never going to go back and rewatch that clock. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You just want to be able to post it on Instagram so that everybody knows you were there. It's so
exactly.
I feel sorry for it. So yeah, I'm definitely, like you said, I'm definitely trying to be in my touch grass moment and kind of reconnect. Because it's like I haven't been, I just been around my same old friends. I haven't been really putting myself out there in like new social situations, which was always a struggle for me, but I haven't even been trying, so I'm doing that now.
Okay. And I think that's a good thing. I think everybody should practice that, right? Like I'm not nobody's doctor or nobody's therapist or any of that, but I do think everybody needs to practice going outside a lot more and just putting this shit down, right? And doing something more positive, because this whole thing on trying to put people's names in the chats and dox people and all this stuff. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't give a fuck this much about any of y'all life. Like, right. I don't care. I'm not sure what they think we're supposed to do with all this, right? Like, even if these people are who you're saying, or they have this, or they're this, or this is their name, or all this other stuff. If you take the time to go outside and live your life, and you would realize just how unimportant and irrelevant this shit really is.
Absolutely.
Like, you would. And then you would realize how stupid you look trying to tell us about it. You see what I'm saying? And trying to like force it down our throats, like as if we would really care anyway. I think that's the biggest problem here, that's going on with certain people in the sector. And it's not most of the sector, but it's, some people.
It's just like, it's weird that some of these people are so like, unaccomplished, that the things they trying to beat up on other people for, like I remember they were trying to talk about like if that was Triggs TPO, and I was just like, I don't care. And they're like, you don't care about domestic violence. It's like, no, I don't care about a nigga I never met before on the internet having a TPO. Like, that's not the same thing. Like, what do I care? Or then they want to talk
that would be like me caring about every single man in the world who has a TPO. Right. Why would I care this much? Who cares? What am I really supposed to do about it?
And it's not like niggas that don't have a TPO, it means they never abuse nobody. Like, I'm not that simple-minded. That shit don't mean nothing to me, right? Or like whether or not somebody got a high school diploma. Like, it's wild when people who only have a high school diploma to their name want to act snobbish about it. And it's like, nigga, you not educated neither. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what if it make you, just the amount of education you got is how much matters. Anything less than what you got is a tragedy. But if somebody got a PhD, that also don't matter, and they shouldn't bring it up because it make you feel small. Like, shut the fuck up. Why is you comparing yourself to these people?
Right.
You don't know them, right? What are you doing?
Yeah. He says, mad because I'm telling the truth about what you done, lying about me being Ankh, then working for Ankh. You fucking lied. That's it. That's all.
He must be talking to Smoke.
Yeah, I think he is. He said, yeah, grandbaby getting that Tesla. Okay, well, my brother buying the Tesla. I'm buying the BMW because I told him I can't afford that damn Tesla. Shit.
I'm getting a little bit worried about defrauding.
Yeah? How about why? You think he's spending too much time on this?
Well, I just think, I think that talking about that Chicago shit is always a slippery slope.
Hey, VP. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just like, and I told him this. I think talking about Chicago gang culture is a slippery slope because it can put you in a mindset.
Yeah.
It can put you in a certain mindset, and it's it's just like, yeah, oh, don't wallow in that too long, because number one, people that's not from Chicago could never understand. It's too even if you sit there and try to explain it, it's so many aspects to the shit that it's difficult to really talk about. It's like being from a war zone. It's very complicated. So while I do agree with everything he said yesterday and he was cooking, I hope that he doesn't spend too much time wallowing in that, because it's a really, really dangerous mindset. It really is.
It is. And my thing is, I have a lot of respect for defrauding. I do. I have a lot of respect for him as a young brother. And I think that he's above a lot of this stuff. And that he doesn't I get it though, right?
Yeah.
Because you get tired. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You get tired. And you start telling a motherfucker about theyself, when you get tired. And so, I don't want to tell him like, I think you shouldn't be saying this, or I think, I don't want to be the one to do that. And I know you don't either. And that's probably why I'm just trying to, walk tread lightly with that.
Yeah.
I know how I got tired of motherfuckers around here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I began to drag them for fucking filth to the point that they're still crying to this day. You know what I'm saying? So
crying and lying. Yeah.
Yeah, crying and lying to this day. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. When he's done, he'll be done. When he's tired.
You're right. And you're right with the wanting to tread lightly with telling a grown man what to do. I just, at the same time, as a friend, I just want to be like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Ooh.
Yeah, of course. You wouldn't be a friend if you didn't.
Yeah, just a little, like, be careful with that, because it can put you in a place, especially, and I'm gonna tell you the respect I have for defrauding. It's like I was talking about with that pills thing before. Like, if you're a Black man in Chicago who is not in a gang, people can never imagine how difficult that is. Mm-hmm. Like, if you tried to tell them, people would think you were making it up. The amount of peer pressure on Black men who just kind of want to be studious and not gangbang in Chicago is like a level of hell nobody should ever have to go through. I've seen it with my own eyes. I have friends like defrauding. Most of my friends were in gangs, but I did have a couple of friends like defrauding who had fathers and just wasn't going, and it was like they had to be so much tougher than the people who were actually in the gang, because it's like,
hey, hey, like, B2B. No, go ahead. I'm just saying hi to.
Like, no. Remix title his channel Remix versus Everybody, and that's just a joke. He's a bum on the payroll for a crazy lady. When you're a Black man in Chicago that won't join a gang, it really is actually you versus everybody. Right. It's not just a name. That's like actually what's going on in reality. And it's traumatizing. Like, it's a lot. So yeah, I definitely respect defrauding. And again, I've known people who had to fight everybody every day. And you don't necessarily want to get back into that headspace, because I know what that is. And just be careful, friend. Right, be careful, because
just veering off real quick. I had this conversation with my son last night. We were talking about Chicago, right? Because there was this one kid that, well, there's probably multiple, but there's one kid, well, there's definitely multiple, but there's this one kid who just got killed recently. He's like 21. He had like 10 bodies on him in like the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm like, so these are fucking serial killers out here.
Yeah, real talk. They're serial killers. Yeah.
These young boys, these boys that they put in this drill music and stuff, going back and forth with each other, shooting up each other. I was listening to Big Homie C the other day talk about this on Cam Capone, right? And how he was saying that the police out there, they duck and dive the bullets like everybody else do. They leave and everything. They don't do shit about this shit. These niggas just run the streets just doing this shit over there.
I mean, I grew up with several serial killers who were friends of mine.
Right.
Right. Yeah, like that's, people don't call it that, right? But yeah, they were, looking back in hindsight, like these niggas were actually serial killers. And the level of anti-Blackness, right? Where, and like I said, if I talk to these niggas about fighting capitalism, they can't nothing change around here. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to another Black man, it's curtains over there. It's so, I just had to leave. I couldn't take it no more. You know, I just had to get the fuck up out of there. Like
it makes me wonder how, like, because this happens like everywhere, right? Let's get it right. Let's do that for a second. But I don't think it's on the level, right? In certain cities as it is in Chicago.
It's
or at least certain parts of Chicago. Like, we have to take a step back for a moment and really look at that. You know what I'm saying? There's multiple, I'm talking about 400, 500, 600 murders a year in Philly. You know what I'm saying? It definitely goes down up there. You know, it definitely goes down here in Delaware too, you know. But it's not on this level. You know what I'm saying?
I really believe Chicago is cursed. I think like niggas have a fog over their eyes to where you can't reason with them. They can't think clearly. Like it's like they're hypnotized. It's very, it's like,
it's a spell.
It's a spell. Like if I had the solution, I would use it. I would do anything to stop it. But it's almost like you're talking to people when it comes to killing other Black men. It's like it's no talking, it's no reasoning. It's like I don't know what it is, but it's not normal. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's something on a deeper level going on. It's definitely some weird shit.
Is. That's what I was trying to say. And I remember Trump recently in the past, you know, remember when he was in office and he kept always talking about, like, he kept referencing Chicago all the time. This is when he was hanging out with Kanye West all the time, right?
Yeah.
He kept referencing Chicago and how Chicago is this and Chicago is that. And Black people were looking at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? We don't all live in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? We're not all living this life that you're talking about. But we didn't pay attention to what the fuck he was saying. He was trying to say Chicago was on a whole other level of violence, right? Yeah. Of poverty than any other city. And it's not that any other city is not, like, I need people to really get this, right? It's not that any other city is not experiencing damn near the same shit, right? But it's not on the same level. It's just not. And I want people to study this. I want people to look into this a lot further. Right.
And well, I can say that like Chicago isn't the per capita. It hasn't been for some time. Like Stephanie's saying, it's true that there are places that technically have more murder. But the thing you have to understand about Chicago is like one of the coldest cities. Like in the winter, almost nobody gets killed because it's like nobody's standing around outside. It's cold as shit, right? Everybody's bundled up inside. But the summer months in Chicago, it's like the chance of getting murdered is so high during like a certain period of the year. You know what I mean?
And it's from block to block. It's not the same. Like it's so like over here, it'll on this block is, you know, your GDs or whatever. And then you go to the next block and it's some, you know, it's just not, it's just, oh. Well, I could not imagine raising my sons in that environment.
That's what I be telling people, please leave Chicago. But the other thing about Chicago you have to understand that's so weird is that Chicago has a really well-established like gang culture. And contrary to what people who don't know what they're talking about be saying, gang culture usually reduces like a certain amount of violence. Because it's like rules.
Yes.
Right. So if you look over at California, like that no jumper shit, it's there a lot of the shit that they do over there, they're able to do because these gangs are functioning like properly. They're mediating conflict and everything.
Exactly.
And there's rules, there's big homies, there's all this. Chicago has so
there's
much
no rules.
Which it doesn't make sense. Well, I mean, we know that the CIA like took out a lot of the gang leaders, but it's very bizarre in Chicago the way that the gangs are not regulating the violence the way that they normally do in most cities.
Exactly.
So it's almost like they have the stick up kid mentality of niggas in Philadelphia, but they're gangs, so it's worse. Like it's so much worse. And I've lived in Philly, I've lived in Chicago, and I can tell you the mentality in Chicago is so much worse.
Yeah. And I think everybody needs to just take a step back and really, really look at this. If you haven't taken the time, to compare the differences, because you're absolutely right. The gang culture on the East Coast is not the same. It's it actually regulates the streets, right?
Yeah.
There's certain shit that ain't about to go down. You know what I mean? Depending on whoever the fuck is in rank, depending on who you speaking to. So yeah, when it comes to Chicago, that's not the case. That's not what's going on, man. It's like I ain't even gonna say what I think, but yeah, I'm gonna say a little bit of it. And I know it might sound a bit conspiracy theory-ish or whatever. But
it is a conspiracy, so go off. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's almost as if the government is or in some form or capacity of the government, like the CIA or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is purposely allowing this to happen. Like this is an experiment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's
like
not a coincidence.
Like it's on the level of the Tuskegee Airmen experiment, just so much worse. And
well, I think it's more like it's not a coincidence that the cities where the civil rights movement was the most happening, like the Vice Lords and the Blackstones started as a civil rights thing.
Right, exactly. I know this stuff.
The same thing that the CIA does in South America when they destabilize communist governments is the exact same thing. That's not even a conspiracy. Like that's just literally what's happening.
What it is. And I need the folks to wake up to this, man.
That's the thing that's so fucked up is Chicago people are way more politically aware than the other cities. They know it. It's not that they don't know. They know. But it's like I said, it's something. There are so many intelligent Black people in gangs in Chicago. There's way more than enough brain power for them to understand what's being done to them and stop it. But there's something, dare I say, like paranormal, or like it's something beyond the.
It's a spiritual battle. It's a spell.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Or maybe it's even
I had said this before. I had talked about something similar to this. There's certain constellations and spells, and you and I kind of went into this conversation, and we disagreed on it about the constellation part of it, right? And I understand where you're coming from, but I can see these kinds of things that are in the stars that are right within our realm, right within our range of things, regarding space, right? And how these things are manipulated, how these things are used in spirit.
Well, I mean, it could also be, it could be that. I'm not gonna hold you, right? Like I'm just not gonna believe something without like evidence. My dad says that they hooked up with Hollywood and like the Jews in the music industry to just promote a pimp culture, promote
a violent culture. Yeah.
And if you look over on the West Coast, like out of the Watts riots, like they came out with NWA. These niggas was talking about killing police officers and rebelling against white authority. And so it's almost like the CIA or somebody ran in real quick and was like, no, I'm gonna need you to only talk about killing niggas, and glorifying that. So maybe it's spiritual, maybe it's just good old fashioned propaganda. I don't know. I just know that it doesn't. I just feel like Black people are smart enough that we will be able to overcome propaganda after so many decades. So it must be a little something extra in the sauce, because we overcame the Bible, we overcame slavery, we overcame all the worst propaganda ever in Christianity, right? So why we wouldn't be able to come over some little old record shit? I don't know.
Yeah. I do think I was talking about that with my kids too, how the record industry is not going to be the same anymore, right? This whole Diddy thing and how that's happening, not that he necessarily is going to change some shit, but you see how many CEOs and stuff stepped down, right?
Yeah.
How many people were just walking away from this shit since this whole thing came out. Let's be real though. This type of shit that Diddy is doing, that nigga's been doing this shit since the Hugh Hefner days, since before that shit, right? There was women overdosing.
Right.
Oh, let's go. There were women overdosing at the Playboy Mansion, and they were young, they were underage and every fucking thing. This type of shit been going on for fucking decades, okay? Diddy is not the start.
That shit been going on since the Roman Empire. Come on now.
Let's talk about another thing. You know how they talk about how they wanted to make shows about the Freakniks and stuff? You know, how they wanted to put that on display. They always want to put black people on display for some shit that they've been doing for years, right? Like spring break is much worse than anything Freaknik could have ever stood for. Like, let's be real. Okay. All these white colleges with these white kids at these beaches and all these places, girls done got killed and everything.
Yeah, you know, I was just about to say, them white boys be killing them white girls.
They kill them white girls.
No black woman get killed at Freaknik.
At the Freaknik.
But they want to turn around. Yeah, girl.
Okay, but they always want to make a spectacle of black people, you know, and what black people do, like as if black people cornered the market with that shit, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this photon thing, because you want to stay up here for, I don't know if you want to stay up here for this.
You're welcome. Go ahead. I'll try it. Okay. Even though, like you said, I almost never talk about Photon. It's funny. TMZ got mad when I talked about how lame his music is, and he was like, "If I had $1 for every TMK."
Oh, TMK.
He was like, "If I had $1 for every time you talk about Photon," it's like, dude, I like never talk about Photon. I just now started saying his name like a month ago. Meanwhile, you sit up in his audience sucking his dick while he talk about me every fucking day. Like, so anyway, yeah, I'll stay up here for a minute because fuck that nigga. Go ahead.
Well, speaking of sucking dicks, okay, let's go ahead and get into Photon real quick, because, child, listen, this dude had lost his goddamn mind. Hey, Samro, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me get through these comments. Vita V, I appreciate you being in the building. Too Big, you said, morning, Vita V. Hope you're doing well. Samro, I appreciate you being in the building. Aboka, I think I spoke with you. You said, hey to Carrie. And Too Big. Okay, so y'all just kind of speaking to each other. You said, I was gunning for him repeatedly in the chat about him lying on me for clout, but bitch made Riri wouldn't respond. Okay. You said, Remix doesn't want to talk to no dudes nor see what we write in the chat. Estimates pussy. Okay. That's how he be, though. Oh, Vita, I know, honey. We need the equal. I think they want. I think they want to see the equalizer. Okay, because I said, no. You will not take this video down and think I won't post talking about this shit. Okay. Shit. I got something for you, Photon. I'm not the one that likes you, sir. Okay, so I'm going to drag you today because no, sir. You don't get to get away with this one. He had a lot to say, child. And I don't know how much of that you listen to, but Carrie, I should have called you because you'll be up too.
Like I said, when I tapped in, all I heard was Stargate crying and lying about people trying to kill tickets and tapped out. And I'm just like, he will listen to them go on and on about that shit forever.
So okay, so let's you want to talk about that part first? Do you want to talk about Alan hitting the panel, or do you want to talk about Photon talking shit on Vita, me and mine, grown man? What you want to talk about?
I don't even care about. Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about all of it, but okay, what you want to talk about first? Okay, so let's talk about Alan hitting the panel. Okay, so Alan hits the panel, and he was on there. You know, at first they was having their little, conversation and shit. Everybody was cool or whatever. Next thing you know, Alan starts telling Photon, hey, I felt like it was basic. I'm going to paraphrase what he said, y'all. Okay. Basically, he was like, you was acting like a bitch when the legend hit your fucking panel, right? Mm-hmm. You basically let the legend school you and, talk his shit to you, and you just bitched up to him. Which I believe is true, right? Like, yeah. Okay. I mean, Alan, I do think that did happen. Photon be talking all kinds of shit, be dragging people, low-key dragging motherfuckers. And then when you hit that panel with him, he becomes a different person. Like, it happens every time. It's never fails, right? He's done it with me. He's done it with multiple people. So here's the thing. Photon, after hearing Alan say that, Alan was like, he said a few key things, guys. One of the things Alan said is, I ain't going to keep sending money to you, and you're letting niggas like that hit your panel. So Photon has found another sponsor, okay, which is fine. If that's what he got, who cares, right? Niggas, get your money, okay? Get your money, Blake. But he ended up, putting that out there. And then he also Star ended up saying something about her sending money to him too, right? So, Photon is on the payroll again, okay? And that's basically what's got him saying and doing different things. But saying and doing different things can get you fucked up in these YouTube streets, okay? Fucking with certain people. Because, grown man, obviously, him and Mia Mines have beef with Alan. That is a long-standing beef, right? I really don't know why Alan thinks anybody going to jail over this YouTube shit, but let him have it. Fine. Right. But either way, these two men can handle themselves. They arguing with each other. They going back and forth. And Photon always putting little bullshit in it. And grown man came up there and checked him. Okay. He really did check his motherfucking ass. And so Photon was, he wanted to change his life and find Jesus and all this other stuff. And then, yeah, that's what he said. He ain't really said that, but he was acting like that, right? Right. He was up there. And then, a couple days later, here he is talking his shit, right? But then, so Alan gets up there and says something to him last night, and he's like, oh, well, everybody has the right to feel some kind of way. And Alan was like, well, yeah, but you're, basically Alan saying, I'm paying you to talk your shit. So you just letting these motherfuckers just come up here and check you? I don't think I could fuck with that. I ain't going to keep giving no money to you. You know what I'm saying? So when he said that, I don't know what Photon did, okay? Because he asked him and Star to give him like 20 minutes. Photon came back and Photon started dragging the fuck out of grown man and Mia Mines. He was saying shit. He was saying shit to the likes of, I should pull my dick out in front of your bitch.
Oh my God.
You niggas can suck my fucking dick. What, you want to suck my dick, grown man? You want to suck my dick? That's what he was saying. I was like,
my God.
What? Right? I mean, he was talking big shit. I knew at that moment, I know damn well Legend and me is asleep right now. Okay. And they're not watching this shit. Right. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this shit tomorrow. Because nigga, motherfucking well, you ain't even built like that, Photon, with your 5'2" motherfucking 100-pound motherfucking ass. Goddamn well, you not built for no motherfucking fade. Then you gonna fucking say, I'll take the fade. I'll take the fade. I don't run from fades and all this. Nigga. But then you came to your senses, right? Girl, it was like he had a bad bag of meth or some shit, okay? Because that nigga can't afford cocaine. It was like he had a bad bag of meth, okay? This nigga just went the fuck off. He talking about niggas sucking his dick and pulling his dick out on grown man, and he don't run from the fade and all this other shit, and come outside and all. I was like, whoa, and then all of a sudden it was like Mother Mary hit him, and he was just like, oh, this is wrong. People are entitled to feel how they feel. But this was after Stargate started accusing Alan of wanting her daughters to be killed, right? So she kept accusing Alan of that, but Alan was trying to like get on Stargate's good side just so he can piss Anti off. We all know that that's what he was really doing, right? He was basically trying to get on Star's good side and tell her he wanted her to rock a DBA shirt and all this other shit, and just try to like give her all these accolades just for a second. But Star wasn't falling for it. I got to give her props for that. Okay, I don't really fuck with this bitch like that, but I got to give her fucking props for not falling for that shit, because he was definitely trying to get on her good side so he can get to her channel, so he could become a mod, so he can start blocking Anti or all this. Like, he just want to be doing this. He want to keep going into this shit in 2025. Okay, I don't know why, but this nigga want to keep up this old school, I'm sending everybody to jail shit in 2025 as well. So, anywho,
well, didn't he strike her channel?
He did, and that's what she kept referencing. She was like, "You struck my channel, so I'm not going to give you my new channel for you to strike." You know what I'm saying? Like, if I might want to sneak and talk about you one day, and I don't want you striking that shit, right? So,
I don't know why Alan Logic thinks he's a playboy. Like, he thinks somebody give a fuck about his goofy, raggedy ass compliments. I just find him so gross. Ugh. I don't get how anybody entertains his foolishness. That nigga is such a cornball. I don't trust no nigga show me all 52 of his teeth every time he talking. Like, put your teeth back in your mouth. Why all his teeth always hanging out his fucking mouth every time he talk? Put them teeth up.
Yo, he be irritating the shit out of me nowadays, but I don't really got no beef with Alan. He just know not to. I ain't that bitch that you can buy. Okay, now maybe you can buy some of these other motherfuckers, but I'm not that bitch. But anyway, so back to this shit with.
Well, Photon always judge me so much for talking about sucking dick, and he talking about a man sucking his dick. All these niggas.
Yes, girl. He literally was saying, like, I couldn't believe that he said this shit, right? So anyway, after Star was saying that shit about Alan, right? Mm-hmm. Showtime was like, what are you talking about? Like, you're talking about stuff that happened years ago. And she's just, it's time to move on. And she was just like, no, it's not. And he was just like, well, do you feel some kind of way about what Remix said? You know what I'm saying? About these kids, S assaulting some kids. Mm-hmm. And she was just like, she went straight from, well, Alan said he wants my children to be killed. He wants just deflecting, right?
Yeah.
And he was just like, you can't compare those two. And she was just like, no, Alan wanted, my kids to be killed. And then she started pulling up the receipts on what she claimed he was saying this, right? So I was waiting to hear him say, I want your daughters to be killed. He never said that. He said, fuck you.
How she does that. She be believing that shit too. But go ahead, yeah. She just, if she can't win an argument or excuse calling everybody the hard ER, she just go off into her brain and make some shit up.
He said, what he said exactly was, fuck you and your daughters. That's what he said. He said, throw all of y'all out the window.
Right.
That's an expression. Like, I'm not going to come down and be like, oh, he wants your kids dead. Like, y'all just so fucking like dramatic over shit, right? But you're not dramatic over the people that you're supposed to be dramatic over. Like the shit with Remix, you ain't got nothing to say about.
That was not a figure of speech, right?
That
like
wasn't
what Remix said was not throw the baby out with the bathwater type of idiom.
Exactly.
I hope, right?
That's what he said. He said distinctly with, actual, he had descriptions and everything of this, images, and this is what happened with that. This nigga told you, fuck you and your grown ass daughters, okay? Because your daughter was not 15 at the time. Your daughter was 17 or 18 at the time. And your other daughter was 25 or 26, okay? He said, fuck you and your grown ass daughters. Throw all of y'all out the window, considering you're out here calling the black people niggers and shit like this. That is the context of what, hold on, let me finish. That is the context of what was really going on in that video. That Star kept trying to like splice and dice like them, like them breaking the cultures and them fucking, how they be fucking doing, right? Yeah. That's what she likes to do and show little portions of what you said, but she don't want to show you what she said. She even turned around and lied into Photon and was like, well, I didn't start saying, anything about him owing child support and not having custody of his children until after he said that about me and my daughters. That's not true. Even in the video she showed where she was talking shit about him not having custody of his children. Now, keep in mind, Alan's one child is an adult Star, okay? A grown-ass child. I'm not even going to say whether it's a girl or male or not. I'm just telling you, Alan's child is an adult, okay? So he doesn't have child support or custody issues. But you were talking about that. And then he told you, after arguing with you, knowing that you calling all these black people the N-word every day, he's called you. He said, you and your type need to be tossed the fuck up out of here. Yes, bitch. That's what he said. He just used a figure of speech to say it. But you always victimizing yourself over everything anybody ever says. just the windmill for niggas that you should be talking shit to. That's the part that gets me about Star.
And wasn't Anti putting dildos on her face and calling her sexually degrading names?
Yes, but that's all forgiven. As long as you come at
she's on the payroll or just because she's stupid?
I think it's a combination of both.
Okay.
I do. I think it's a combination of both. Alan was talking some really good shit to Star last night. He said to her, I was just talking to you about this, Carrie. When I said that Star by this point should have her own massage business. That at this point she needs to be, getting into the business sector. And, by this time, she's been doing this for 20 years. This is something she should be doing. Alan had that conversation with her last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But ain't she illiterate?
Obviously, because it went right over her fucking head. It went right over her head what he was trying to teach her. He said, I've already had this kind of business. He said, I'm going to set one up and bring you out here. You can work in the business. You can, get this stuff going for you. This is what Star should be doing. If she's been in this business and she has the knowledge that she has for this long, she should be doing this, with her own company and have her own massage, therapist working for her. Right. But she don't think that way. She don't think outside the box. And that's kind of what, Alan was trying to tell her. And it went right over her motherfucking head, man. It really did. She proceeded to talk about how, she went down the list of every woman in the sector, how every woman, you wanted her daughters M-worded, right? Let's talk about that, because I was supposed to do a video review of what you really said about that, right? Because you never said that you want to, of course, we all know you never said. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that's something that she said you said. I didn't even know I was accused of saying that.
She said you said
that. Oh, M-word as in touched. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, her daughter's M-worded, right?
Go ahead.
And I remember the last time I had talked to Star about that, I told her, I said, I'm going to go over that video with you and tell you what she really said to you, because that ain't what you said to her. Right. You told her that she's the type that will overlook something happening to one of their children because she makes excuses for predators. Right. And that's exactly what she does. Every single time anybody brings up something that somebody in her circle does some predatory shit, she always tries to deflect. She looks some other way. She finds some other excuses. She does all kinds of shit to deflect from what this person said or did. And every single time, this is some predatory shit. She never had a problem. When we were asking her about Rev G's TikTok, she started going to her daughters. When we asked her about Remix and what he said about this imaginary daughter of Propane being R-worded at school, she overlooked that and wanted to talk about her daughters, right? When there's so many examples of this shit happening with Star. When Binary was talking about touching women without their consent, right? She wanted to go on to y'all and talk about her daughters and talk about you and talk about Nikki and everything else. Everything but what these predators are saying and doing. Everything but what these niggas, are saying and doing that looks even predatory, that sounds predatory to a woman that has a child, a woman that has two children, two girls, right? Two women. Right. Of course, we're going to look at you like something's wrong with you if you're constantly, trying to protect predatory behavior. It's nuts. It's absolutely crazy.
Well, I remember when she tried telling that lie to Rob B. I'm sorry, were you talking?
No, go ahead. Because she was talking
to Rob B. Like, who is supposed to believe a community full of women would be okay with what? If I said what Stargate said, I said, like, you're not supposed to believe just that I said that, but that a community full of 100 women was like, yeah, I'm still cool with Carrie.
Yeah, like, what is she talking about? And then whenever you ask her,
who is supposed to believe that shit?
And then when you ask her for receipts, she gives you splice dice receipts of things. She don't give you the truth because she just wants to perpetually be a forever victim. And you're just not a victim, Star. Nobody said that they wanted your daughters killed. Nobody said that they wanted your daughters R-worded. She said that Nikki said Nikki said she wanted my kids sex trafficked. Nobody said that shit. Nobody ever said that shit. Nobody ever said that shit, Star. These are things that people said you would allow. You have the personality type of a woman that would allow for such things to happen in your household based off of your personality of constantly overlooking predatory behavior, constantly making excuses and windmilling for predators or predatory behavior. You have done that. You have a history of doing it. I just went over that history.
Well,
so it is what it is. You can
that's
cry.
Why I don't have your patience.
In the middle of the night to Photon. You could cry in the middle of the night on your channel and then take it down. You could do all that shit. But that is your history, Star. And I'm not taking this down. That is your actual history. It is what it is.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Thanks. That's why I can't be bothered talking to Stargate, because it's just going around in circles. It's no point. She don't have no tether to the truth. So you might as well be talking to a illiterate brick wall. It's no point. She's insane.
Yep. They was talking about Vita. It was a bunch of shit like he was saying about Vita V, and then at the end he wanted to Vita is cool, but Star had a lot of shit to say about Vita V. I was shocked. I didn't know she had any issue with Vita. She was saying how she think Vita look and how Vita should have something. It was the same shit about binary, how Vita had something to say about them, and she felt some type of way that Vita had spoke on it. And it's like, yeah, that shit that binary was doing was nuts. Nobody was fucking with that shit. Nobody was cool with that. Nobody was okay with that. And a lot of us had something to say. But that's a prime example of Star standing up for people that want to say something about this shit. You want to argue and windmill with those people instead of looking at what your friends and these people around you are doing and saying. You're fighting these causes, claiming that you're this wonderful, great woman who cares for children and, cares about women and protecting women and all this other stuff. But then you're literally in a den full of fucking snakes that do nothing but disrespect children, disrespect women, talk sexually about kids and stuff like this. You find yourself in that space all the time.
It's funny. When I first said that about her being the type that would let a man abuse her kids, it was before all of this TikTok stuff came out. It's like, I was just saying it based off what she was saying about the binary stuff was so disturbing. The way she was gaslighting everybody when we heard binary admit that he did it.
Yeah. And then even up to last night, she was still trying to lie and say that binary was saying that this was a sex party. This was a swingers party. Like, I should pull that video up and play it.
That is such a ridiculous lie.
It is such a ridiculous lie. He never said that it was a swingers party at first. He changed that. And shout out to Alan for bringing that out, right? No, he's changed that. He kept changing it back to different things. That story evolved so many fucking times. But Star being so gullible to predatory behavior, right? That she just overlooked it all. She didn't care that he kept adding new things to the story and taking things away. And she didn't care that he said that this woman stood up, right? And said, I love my husband and I wouldn't do anything to compromise my marriage. Who would say that at a swingers party?
Girl.
Okay, so no, bitch, just stop the lying. But this is
why he have to trick his wife into apologizing for a swingers
party. Why
did
he have to trick his first wife into apologizing to her friends if it was a swingers party, Star? But you're the one that is windmilling in this example for predatory behavior, and you wonder why the women that you keep claiming in these fake ass accusations, right? The women that you keep claiming wanted this to happen to your daughters and wanted that to happen to your daughters. No, that's not the want. It's your personality type that allows these kinds of things to happen. And the women spoke on it. That's what
And
happened.
people think that's such an outrageous thing to say, but when these people be getting touched, little boys and little girls, do a lot of times their mothers know and look the other way. This is not something it's something that's unpleasant to know.
Hey, Shakim, what's happening, baby? He said, made me cry. Oh, shit. Y'all too.
Yeah, he definitely cried. Why won't you leave me alone? She keep following me. She say I'm gay. I'm not gay. Gay the whole time. Was gay the whole time. Nigga called my job because he was mad I called him gay. Nigga was sucking dick that very night.
Too Big says every time Star hit the panel, it's the same shit every time. And it's like, why, Star? When are you going to move on with your life? You know, at the end of the day, you are one of those people I'm talking about. It is obvious to me that you don't get outside enough, that you're not living real life, right? You know what she said last night on Photon's panel, and then we're gonna get on to. I think we'll be done with this after this. She said her daughter, right? Let me tell you, because Photon was trying to get to the bottom of this shit. He really was, right? He was trying to get her to like come to an understanding. I'm gonna get back to what he ended up saying about Legend and them after the fact, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he says he was like basically saying like, Star, like, you know, after even listening to her receipts, he's trying to get her to understand these were figures of speech. This wasn't somebody telling you they want your kids dead. You know what I'm saying? They were giving you a figure of speech, and you're taking it in this direction that it don't even have to go, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's not that deep. I'm not sure why. And you know, she just kept wanting to go back to the same thing. And my thing is, you know, she's one of those people that needs to get outside and live your life. Because what she said about her daughter was profound. She said, my daughter heard, he said, well, you know what? He said, how old are your daughter? Right. And she tried to say how old they were. But she didn't say how old the oldest was. Because the oldest is like 20. She's older than my daughter. The oldest one is older than my child. Okay. Mm-hmm. My oldest child. My oldest is 27. So she's like 29. Right. She's like Shakim's age. Okay. And then the youngest one is like 10 years younger. So she's like 19 or 18. Right. So Star don't have no little kids, but she keeps trying to use that and act like she does. You know what I'm saying? To make people feel sorry for this situation, thinking that Alan is dragging some little girls. You know what I'm saying? He's really not. He's not even dragging them. He's just telling her, you know, fuck you and your offspring with this calling us niggers and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. Mm-hmm. And everybody feel that way. But you know, she ended up saying her daughter, well, the youngest, she said the baby will call the oldest one and tell her what's going on with Star and how, you know, Star be on these live streams yelling and screaming and talking crazy and all this stuff. Wow. And you know, she got to go outside sometimes because, you know, her daughters be feeling some type of way about the shit her online behavior, right? Wow. She gets online to argue about other people's online behavior, but your own fucking kids are in your face telling you about yourself. Like, my kids ain't never told me shit. They be laughing at me talking shit about y'all. They be cracking the fuck up with me cussing y'all the fuck out, right? But I also be watching that shit because I don't be wanting to do that all the time, right? Like, I really don't be wanting to do that all the time. But this is what Star said last night on Photon's show. That is fucking profound, girl. Like, that should tell you, obviously, if your daughters are telling you, you need to get off the internet, mom. You know what I'm saying? And you need to go and live life and enjoy your life and have, you know, like, enjoy some shit and put the fucking internet down. Everything is not about going to work and then going online. Like, you need to go somewhere else. You need to go and expand your horizons of people that you hang with, people that support you, you know, build a support group and go around those people and really enjoy life and get away from this toxic shit. Because next year in 2025, Stargate will still be complaining about the Secktah if she don't go and get her fucking shit together. If
Well,
she
I
don't go,
don't care if she does or she doesn't. Fuck that bitch. I think that Stargate ain't going nowhere because I don't think Stargate can get attention from men in the real world the way that she can here, and I think that's what she's in it for at the end of the day. And the thirst buckets in her audience is like all she has to validate herself. She's like illiterate and poor and stupid and everything. So I don't think she's going anywhere. Where else would she go and get any type of attention or validation, right? Same time, I think that Photon, I really have come to the conclusion that he's just like a colorist. I think any like light-skinned woman, he will listen to them talk about the same thing over and over. They're not disgusting, they're not bad. Like they could be prostitutes, they could be bed wenches, they could be anything, and Photon will just kind of entertain them. And but when it comes to like unambiguous black women, like Verla, you, anybody, he has all this disdain and anger. And I mean, I don't know this for a fact.
I mean, he was talking shit about me and mine. Me and mine is light skinned. He talks shit about Keeper. Keeper's light skinned. So I don't think
like
it's
I
that.
said,
Really
I think that he'll talk a little bit of shit, but I do think the energy is very different. I think he'll like needle anybody, light skin or dark skin. But when it comes down
to I don't think he's colorist, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Now I do think that I think he and I've told you this before.
Well, let me just finish my thought. I think that he'll needle any type of woman, but I think at the end of the day, he's only gonna make a space and a path and be like respectful to his preference. So I've heard him say little digs here and there at his preferences, but the energy is not the same for his preference as it is for like black women. That's what I believe. But go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was reading this comment right here.
Oh, go ahead.
He said, Miss Things, you never went against Smoke. No beating Smoke in any discussion. All you did was cry for Smoke's attention to getting clout from idiots, and I kicked you out of the car.
How did I cry for attention? I hit the link that you dropped, and then you were scared to let me talk because you knew I was about to drag the fuck out of you. I've never cried for your attention. You're not that important.
Okay.
So his big win was after I embarrassed him because he didn't know what he was talking about with math. He dropped his link. He was up there talking with Gates and some other goofy about how much smarter they were than me. And I hit the link and he got scared and kicked me off the panel. Like, that's what happened. And I really don't care if Smoke's schizophrenic ass think that he roasted me. That's fine.
You said Smoke was the only person to win King of the Secktah and Rookie of the Year. I watched it build up and watched it crumble. You said, thanks, Carrie. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
New people popping up every day. Yeah, and it's a good thing. All right, but before I get off topic with this, let me finish with the Photon thing, right? So he was like, trying to reason with Star, and she just wasn't reasoning. But he ended up saying, like, look, people say things, because Star said some shit that I don't think Star be saying the right shit. She just says it to the wrong people, right? So sometimes. So this one particular thing she said was, how some people get up here and all they want to do is just trigger people. She kept talking about Triggs when she was saying this. She's obsessed with fucking Triggs. I ain't gonna lie to you. This chick cannot get Triggs. Triggs, I don't know what you did to that girl. I don't know if you sent this chick a dick pic or some shit. I don't know what happened, sir. Okay, but she is really in her feelings about you. Okay, like really in her feelings about you. So she kept talking about Triggs and just kept referencing everything back to Triggs. Even the Allen was getting paid by Triggs. I'm like, what? Like, it's just nuts, right? And so she was saying something like how Triggs is, his whole life is just centered around triggering people, and that's all.
His name is Triggs,
right? So, and that's all he does, right? I don't believe that. I do think that that's part of his YouTube personality, but I don't think that he's really this person in real life, right? I think he does have, a real life going on. I don't think he's only involved with only YouTube shit, right?
Of course not. You think she meant in real life? That nigga got a whole family.
Exactly. And obviously, he'd be taking good care of his kids and shit like that. So, I don't think that's his actual life goal. But she's saying that this is all he does. And she kept referencing only YouTube, like, oh, in the chats and what he does on panels and with people. And like the nigga only goes live like maybe once a week, right?
Yeah.
He do be on panels and stuff or in chats, but obviously you're in them same chat rooms if you see him there, right? So if you know he's there, it's because you're there too. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. Right? So, I hate when they be saying this shit about where somebody be at and whose chat room they be. You be the fuck right there with them for you to know that that's where they at, right? You know where everybody at all the time, but you don't watch shit. Like get the fuck out of here. Anyway, she just kept saying that, and she kept talking about like how, all he wants to do is that, and don't understand how, you're hurting people when you're just trying to call yourself trolling and stuff like this. Photon got really quiet. Huh?
So she's hurt?
Yeah, she claims she's like really hurt over the things that the Secktah quote, all these things that she has conjured up in her mind.
Yeah.
That the Secktah has done and said about her, she's hurt over. And it's like, the only people that you really should be hurt over, number one, is Binary, because Binary allowed you to go through the process of these emotions, knowing that that wasn't really happening. He just was using it as fucking content. Right. And I've been telling you that for years, that nigga was setting you up with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Number two, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's time to move on, even if you do think that shit, right?
Yeah, if it hurts you, why are you here? Like, whose fault is that? Kick rocks.
Yeah, whose fault is it that you keep coming back to the place that's hurting you, right? At some point in 2025, it's already been your fault, but it's going to become really your fault in 2025, because if you're still talking about this shit then, you know what I'm saying? When you don't want no resolution, right? I don't know what you want, but nobody's going to keep entertaining that shit. Especially if it's not true, right? And that's just it. But she kept saying that, and then Photon was listening, and he said, "You know what? You're right." He said, "But I've been that same person." He said, "I've been the person that's always dragging somebody for their content, always talking shit. I'm always triggering people, always trying to trigger somebody, and that's just some negative energy." He says, "Start every time I try to have a fun show, a laughy, have good time, you hit my panel and you make it a terrible show." He said, "You make it a sad show. You make it, low vibrational, basically." He didn't say those words, but that's what he was saying, right? You make it so low vibrational because you're always constantly in this negative space all the time. There's never any positivity ever coming from this space. You know what I'm saying? But you, every single time you hit the panel, this same thing happens. You change the mood. I'm having a great time, and then next thing I know, I'm ready to cuss out grown man, and I'm ready to cuss out me and mine and stuff.
It's funny he trying to blame her. He's really crazy as fuck.
He tried to blame her for that shit. That's tried
so fucking crazy. Now he be trying to have fun, and then she make it be negative. Child,
he made it negative. But she does, though, in a sense, right? She does. Like, he was speaking some truth, but at the same time, he got to take responsibility for his bullshit, right? But he was saying, like, she brings down the vibe of the show every time, and the people that stay in the chat are only people that support her. You know what I'm saying? It's not people that really fuck with him. The people that he allowed to come around and fuck up his channel are the people that push the Secktah away. You see what I'm saying?
That's why he likes them. He wants to listen to them drag you and me. Like,
no, he doesn't. Let me finish. Because he was saying something very different last night, and it made a lot of sense. Like, I know it sounds like he wants to continue down that path, and he probably will continue down that path, right? But it was the acknowledgement for me. That's what I got out of it.
Maybe you know him better than I do, but in my experiences with him, that is what he does. He does a bunch of negative shit. Then he tells himself he really be believing he a positive person, and then he be positive for like 5 minutes, then he be negative for 3 days straight, and then he be like, "Oh, I don't know what came over me. I'm really such a nice guy," and then he's nice for 5 minutes, and then he's mean for a week straight. Like I don't. Again, maybe you know him better than me, but he. Really
I agree with you on that.
He be believing his lies. Like he really believe he a positive person. It's wild.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. Right. I think your relationship with him has been very different than most of us in the sector, though. Right. Probably everybody in the sector. And I can see why that would have that kind of effect on the two of y'all. You know what I'm saying? But in the case like me, I don't have those emotions and stuff for him. So.
Well, I'm just telling you as somebody.
Let me finish. I appreciate him acknowledging that. You see what I'm saying? Because I can walk away from that, right? I wouldn't care at this point if he's still roasting us, because for me, he acknowledges that, right? Okay, thank you. Now we can move on. We can get back to roasting each other. You see what I'm saying? Because before, I really didn't have an understanding of where he was coming from, right? And I don't know if I still do. But at least he can acknowledge that, yeah, I'm wrong for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, y'all actually are great content creators. Y'all are good people out here in this sector. And I shouldn't have allowed shit to go this far. That acknowledgement for us who aren't and haven't had that kind of dynamic that you've had with him is enough for us. You know what I'm saying? Or at least for me. And I can move on from that. Now I can get back to roasting this stupid ass, right? But, you know, at the end of the day, the acknowledgement part is where it came from for me.
Yeah, I know you don't watch him that much, but he literally does that every week. Every week. He says that everybody in the sector is good and he loves them and he wants to see the best for them and they're all good people and they have potential. Like that is part of his circadian rhythm. So, you know, if you enjoyed that acknowledgement, I feel you, but that was definitely part of his abusive cycle with me. Like that's what he does. He has these moments where he's Buddha, and then that lasts a little while, and then he's right back to some fuck shit. And for him to pretend like he needs Stargate's help to be negative is hilarious.
What's happening, QT? Yeah, he blamed Star and Alan's energy for this shit, but Alan was the most sane on the fucking panel. I ain't even gonna hold you out of all.
Yeah, that's not saying much on that panel. He blames Star, he blames Al, he blames Anti, he blames beer, he blames society, he blames YouTube, he blames his brother, he blames like literally everybody. That's nothing. So I would just say, you know, that whole at least he acknowledges shit. Yeah, I've been there with him before. Been there, done that.
Been there, done that already.
So yeah, best of wishes. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah. Well, I don't really care how long it lasts, but I thought I thought it was nice to hear that because, you're right. I don't listen to him like that, right? So yeah. I don't really be knowing when he's talking his shit and then, you know, saying something nice. But last night I was up and there was really nobody else live, so. And I did get tired of it after a while. I cut that shit off. But I got sick of hearing Star just keep repeating the same thing, even if he kept telling her and she just kept. I was just like, you know what? Good night.
And I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll stop letting Star up because he's going to move on to this positive new thing because it was Stargate.
No, I don't think he's going to do that. I really did say.
I know I'm trolling.
I think he's, I think he's going to keep.
I know you're not that crazy, right? I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, at least on some level, he knows it, and it's like, no, he does. He knows that for like 5 minutes every week. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Fuck him. But anyway, so he did apologize, grown man, because he said, hey, people are entitled to their opinions. People are entitled to their feelings. And, Alan was just kind of just saying in this moment to Star what his feelings were. It's not like he was really saying that he wanted to do something to hurt your children. He was just talking shit to you. That's kind of what we do in this sector, right? But it seems it's okay when one person talks shit It's not okay when this person talks shit. He said, but then he did say, he said, why can't I hang out with Alan if I want to? He said, when y'all hang out with Triggs. And I was just like, well, I do kind of agree with that. Like, I'm not the kind of person that's going to tell somebody not to hang out with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I really can acknowledge that, right? Y'all grow. We all grown men and women. I go wherever the fuck I want to go, right? Nobody's going to tell me where I can go when, I'm the one paying my internet bill. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's going to tell me where the fuck to go. That's just that. Right. But either way, at the end of the day, it's kind of hard to, it's hard to navigate that. If Photon is cool with Alan, whatever Alan thinks is what Alan thinks. He doesn't necessarily have to, be in agreement with everything that Alan's saying. But the problem with Photon is Photon likes to talk his shit along with people, right? Mm-hmm. So when Alan's talking his shit about Grown and Me and Mines and stuff, here go Photon making little comments and talking his shit too, but then he want to act like he cool with them. You know what I'm saying? That's Photon's issue. He do shit like that. And then when Grown Man checked his motherfucking ass, he wanted to sit right down and act like, he got Jesus all of a sudden. He became a Buddhist. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of shit happened. He became Zen, right? Yin and yang, right?
Right. Yum, not right.
One good dog. So, then, when he think Grown Man ain't nowhere around or Me and Mines ain't nowhere to be found, here he is talking his shit again with Alan, and he wonders why people continue to drag him like they did. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason. Yeah, you're right. You do try to trigger motherfuckers and talk crazy to motherfuckers and wonder why motherfuckers talk shit back. Like, all of them do that shit, though.
I don't think he minds people people talking shit about him, but I do think he's very resentful that he's not more popular. Like, he would like to have the most numbers. And he's resentful of people who have more. He's really a little cloud goblin. He really is very jealous of anybody with numbers.
Right.
And it's weird because it doesn't seem like it's that hard to get numbers if you want them that bad. But if all you want to do is bring up your same little preferences and let them talk about the same shit over and over again, it's like, I don't really get it, what his deal is, but he's super jealous of like people with numbers.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like, but he does that to himself because he talks so much shit about everybody, that nobody really can understand or take him really seriously. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really, it's hard to take him serious,
Well, and he can be so funny, but he just keeps wallowing in Secktah resentment, just like Star. So I believe that if he wanted to get numbers, it shouldn't be hard for somebody like him to get numbers. But he does seem like kind of cowardly with branching out into new content or whatever. So it's whatever. I mean, it's none of my problem. I'm just talking a little shit. I don't normally talk about him like this, but like, it's been a long time. So
yeah, it has. And I was actually purposely talking about him and his show. So that's kind of what happened with that. You said I will post it back up. I took it down because it was just a vent in the Raw. I still got professional standards to uphold in the lifestyle I'm in now. It was a good show though, DC.
It was. And like I said, I don't disagree with anything you said. I just don't want you to be like on that energy all the time because it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
To be in that headspace where you're used to getting attacked and letting niggas know they can't fuck with you. Like, that's a dangerous space to be in.
Yeah. I mean, I felt that shit when he said it though. He was just like, I come outside, I gotta fight through these niggas to get to fuck where I gotta go. And I'm gonna keep doing that. And he said that's what his daddy taught him and that's what he do. And he carries that with him. And that's what really makes him the strong man and strong father and strong husband that he is. And so I have to support that, right?
Yeah, I had a best friend that was like that, BJ, and he's a school principal now. Helping change lives and everything. But the shit that he went through, again, unless he was talking to somebody from Chicago, like, you cannot imagine. I was there, I witnessed it. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was still like, damn, this nigga is like It's not like he was fearless because that shit was scary, but he really got into fights like on a daily fucking basis. I couldn't imagine. I was so glad I was born a girl.
Yeah, because boys, I couldn't imagine raising my sons in that situation. That's crazy. I mean, that's not that there isn't the potential for gang violence and stuff, and for them to even run into, them niggas and shit like that. It's just different, man.
The intensity, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're from there, you really don't realize how fucked up it is. Like you do, but you don't, it doesn't even occur to you it's people that's Black in America that don't have to go through that. Cause you like associated with Blackness,
Yeah. Yeah.
Anywho, girl, I'm gonna hop down. Thank you so much for having me up.
No problem. Thanks for coming up. I'm actually about to end it in a little bit. I'm just trying to go through the comments a little bit and then I'm going to end it because I think I said everything I wanted to talk about. I talked about Remix being angry, Photon's reaction, and Stargate being obsessed with Triggs. And I mean, it's just bad, girl. But yeah, we're done. So
okay.
I appreciate you, girl. All right, girl. All right, peace. Smokey said, see, that's the thing. Niggas like barking up the wrong tree when niggas not fucking with them, doing sneak lives and shit. I don't know. You said it's to Canada, I think. Yeah, the train that I was talking about. Yeah. You said I want to know about that train, Miss T. Pre. Okay, I'll get some information on it, guys, and I'll tell you all about it. But it is definitely a train that where they don't let you have your phone so that you can really experience the real experience of the train and the people on the train, So, yeah. You said, hey, you said, Auntie, hey, darling. You said, Stephanie, I adore you, darling. You said, passing around a husband and wife who both work for the United States government information, then think they got some power over me because you got some dumb ass pictures. If I ain't in Chirac, right? You said too big. That was the thing I had thought about too, defrauding. I'm not sure why some of these people that like to dox and shit, why they think, because when I posted Anti's pictures and I posted pictures of her family and stuff like that, I did that after her doing that for multiple years to multiple people. And I wanted her to see how that really looks, right? How, this is what the fuck you're doing when you're doing that. And they still haven't caught on. You know what I'm saying? They don't get that having pictures of somebody is not scaring anybody off the internet. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know why they think that shit, but they think so. They think putting up a picture of some dead person is going to make you run off the internet somehow. Like, I don't know. These niggas be tripping. You said too big. You said beautiful. The best test. Hey, the best is hey, honey. You said DC, all of that. You said they did the worst they can do with my information, which was try to get me in trouble up there with the service. That's all I ever fucking cared about. Right. You said, I thought y'all loved talking about the Thailand trip. You said, I agree. C-19 was detrimental and eye-opening. It really was. It was pretty bad that, what happened to our people, or anybody in that matter after COVID, because people just never came back outside. You know what I'm saying? They never reconnected with life and never reconnected with people. Some of these people were already disconnected anyway. And then COVID just made it worse, right? And it shows now, it shows in a lot of people. It's sad. It really is. It's very sad to see. You said, damn, my opinion. You said, see yous in a bit. You said QT. You said, hey to QT. You said, Clark, you and my twin on the same panel got them yesterday. Ciao. You said, like I said, I've been through that on both sides, so I don't want to hear no excuse. And your situation had nothing for you coming for me. You said, smoke, don't you get nigga real? Don't smoke, don't you get nigga real fucking thrill? I'm going to speak my truth as it is in the raw. Can't nobody scare me off my square, nigga. I meant that shit when I said I fought GDN just to go to school. You said, not sure what I did. You said, drama and Triggs bring good content, and that's why them niggas mad. All of them mad. And I don't really quite understand the whole thing, right? Like, it's like we're on YouTube to hear good content, right? We enjoy laughing and then joking with each other, and this is what they're upset about. I don't know if it's because they've been the butt of the jokes, you know, at times. All of us have been the butt of these jokes on Triggs show, right? All of us have been the butt of these jokes on Drama Show. Every single one of us have been dragged or shit talked or something at some point, at some given time. Why do these niggas, why do they hold whatever anybody says about them to such this high regard that they think they need to call the police, their job, the CIA, the FBI, and all this other weird shit because niggas are just roasting them every so often. Like, this shit is crazy. It's just nuts. How you know, how these are grown ass men, you know, that are so sensitive to these things. It's just craziness. It's absolutely out of this world. And some of these men are married men, you know, they in long-term relationships and shit, and they be the most in their feelings about this shit. It's just nuts. Okay, Vita. You said Clark. You said ain't using your name, roasting your pick, ain't playing your content, not posting your family on the Summer Jam screen, just speaking words on my perspective, what I went through on here and seen. You said folks need to put their toes in some grass and ground. Okay. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. I know I'm way behind on these comments, y'all. Like an hour behind. You said facts, ladies. You said, DF, you can speak your truth, but you ain't about to put me in your story when I never knew who the F you was. You said, hey, P. You said, exactly. You said, DF, you play on Smoke Top. You said, I spoke my truth and tried to disrespect, and Smoke tried to disrespect me. Fuck out of here. You said, hey, to Smoke. You said, knowledge. You said, that's how I feel about it. I don't care how you feel about it. Smoke out. You said, well, we at the same fucking place. Them on it, nigga. You said, nigga stole a pic of me and my mother from my Instagram. I don't forget shit. Oh, wow. Wow. You said, wait, knowledge the fuck? Yeah, that's what I said. Whoa, what? You said, I can tell you all are not chess players. Okay. You said, mama, fine, so I can't clown, so he can't clown me. You said, control your emotions. Why speed when the word is spoken? Sometimes I hit dog, will always holler. So you had one troll that kicked me out the chat earlier. It says, Smoke, if you out, be out for real. If you don't give a fuck, that's okay. Just go on. You said, another troll that wanted to talk about the past and what was crumbling. You said, a fucking nightmare out here in my real city. Every time you turn the car on, it can be your last day on earth simply because somebody want what little you have. You said, Steph DC, I can see smoke. You said, out of body, I love it. I'm not sure why you love that. You know, we're grown. This is stupid. It really is. You said, yeah, I would ignore that too. I can shock you again. My name is my name. I know a lot. You said, somebody using my words and we are not the same person. You said, not a single person on your side living in Gotham City with no Batman. Hey, I'm no joke. I appreciate you coming in the building. You said, hey, T-Pre in chat. Being on here can be addictive. But for myself, I've been going to exhibits at museums. The Harlem Renaissance, 1920s, 30s, 40s, Black community. I'm going to see the Alvin Ailey. I'm going to see the Alvin Ailey. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's really what's up. And yeah, like I'm always trying to do something different. You know what I mean? Outside of this, even with YouTube, if I'm going to watch YouTube, I don't always watch just the Secktah. You know what I'm saying? There's other things that's going on YouTube. There's millions and millions of things, millions of channels on here that really, you know, that talk about various things. They got fishing. There's stuff I watched like that are fun facts that, you know, stuff like Be Amazed. That's one of my favorite channels. I watch a lot of stuff, right, that, you know, you can get educated on instead of sitting here arguing over irrelevant, stupid shit and getting people out of body and people in their feelings. And like, why? We are grown. Like, you know, like there's so many other things to be doing in life than to be fighting with strangers online. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's get out and do some shit. You know what I'm saying? Get out here and do something, you know, get some air, get some sunlight. A lot of Black folks, especially, in the Northeast are vitamin D deficient, right? And it's because we're not outside enough. We're kind of inside creatures. So a lot of us work from home and do different things like that. So we got to supplement these things with different things. We should be taking a vitamin too, but we also need to get the fuck outside and just get some natural sunlight. You know what I'm saying? And just take a second to just sit in that, and just do something else. You know what I'm saying? Do something positive. Go plant a tree, plant some flowers. That's why I fuck with me and mine, because she love her plants. She love her flowers and shit. She loves her gardening. She does other shit. And she ain't talking in the middle of the night about pulling out somebody's dick to suck and all this other stupid shit. Because this is the type of stuff that's on these people's minds, But shout out to her. And, just getting out and going out and doing something positive and getting in the fresh air and getting some sun, is going to make you feel so much better if you would just do that, and stop worrying about what we think about you and you going outside. You know what I'm saying? Don't put no pictures up of you going out and doing something, just go do you. I guarantee all this shit will start going away. That's a fact. You said, I love Alvin Eiley. I'm no joke. You said, a knowledge broccoli head. You know what? You said, there are several cities in the South with higher per caps. It just seems like there's something different up there. Exactly. Like, I think Wilmington has a higher capita than there, or at least it's on the same list, right? Wilmington is pretty bad too, because it's so small, but there's like multiple shootings, all the time going on in Wilmington. And so there's a lot of young boys that have been killed up there. And so, but it's a different vibe. It's not the same. It's not the same as what's happening in Chicago. And I definitely think it's something worth talking about and something worth looking into for sure. You said, I'm no joke. You said, yes, I saw them both. You said, went to Harlem Fridays too. Was 2 weeks ago with DJ Datterman, Norman, and Harlem Beer. Okay. You said, knowledge, stop. Okay. You said, navigating through all that war zone shit just to get to work. Worst part, I'm Black, so the average cop not on my side either. Whole different type of fear and phobia I know of. Yeah. And that's what Big Homie C was talking about. He was saying how the police don't do shit. Like, that's kind of like across the board, but this is very different. It's a very different thing we're talking about here. It's a very different environment there, that needs to be acknowledged, and we need to be talking about this shit for sure. You said, Stephanie Collins, they having the Alvin Eiley exhibit in the Whitney Museum of Art until December. I think I got the dates wrong. Okay. You said, I'm no joke. I was at the Whitney for AA, plus they had folks for Alvin Eiley. Plus, they had folk write letters and notes to Alvin Eiley. It was beautiful. Oh, that's really nice. You said Trump was supposed to send the National Guard to Chi-Town and never did. Why not? Right. You said Clark. Oh, wow. Really, I had to go. The Harlem Renaissance. It was just, I almost missed it. You said, I'm no joke. The exhibit closes February 4th. You said some saltines want to use it as an euphemism for all they believe Black people are. That's problematic, I think, on the other hand. Absolutely. And I think that's where Black, like us, some of us may have gotten lost in the sauce with that. Because even like QT was saying just now, which I was about to re-highlight, what she was saying about Trump was supposed to send the National Guard. A lot of Black people felt some type of way about that, And it was because, hey, who are you to go running into these neighborhoods with the National Guard, but we got militias, we got all kinds of stuff going on. Y'all ain't doing nothing with them. And I think we got lost with that. And, some people got behind that fight and that cause, and they allowed that to continue, right? And it's been going on now and continuing now, even several years after that was talked about, right? And now here we are, with all these deaths and all these boys they're making serial killers out of these young men every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? This shit is nuts. This shit is nuts, man. It really is. We've talked, about, how they drop drugs and guns and stuff in these cities and stuff, and really hand them out. You know what I'm saying? Dirty cops do it and everything, and how that happens everywhere. But in Chicago, it is just on a whole. It is on a whole other level now. It really is, and it's definitely something that's worth talking about for sure. You said, yet they think I'm scared of putting my name out in some pictures. Fuck out of here, right? You said, I'm no joke. That was an excellent exhibition. I'm going to see the Elizabeth Catlett Brooklyn Museum, and there is an exhibition at the Newark Museum. He said, I'm no joke. The Studio Museum in Harlem is about to reopen. They just got the 10M too. Okay. He said, Clark, I went to the Tiffany Company. I forgot the man named that collect and made silver antique pieces from 17th and 18th century. It was I took plenty of pictures. He said, Tuskegee Airmen and Tuskegee Experiment are two different events. So the experiment happened to the Tuskegee Airmen. So that's what we were talking about. So I don't know, maybe you just, that went over your head. You said, Clark, I'm not familiar with who Elizabeth Catlett is. You said, I'm no joke, nice, enjoy every part of it. You said, I agree, T-Pre, Diddy is not the only one. Yeah, absolutely. Like, that's just what that is, right? You said, I'm no joke, Prince Sculpture. Hi, beautiful. Appreciate you being in the building. Hoodie, I appreciate you being in the building as well. What's going on, bro? You said, I knew people who went to Freaknik. I never went. They said it was wild, no reported death, but everything went on a few years until they shut it down. It was known for what it is. Exactly, for what it's for. Yep, exactly. And how they love to exploit Black people with shit. But yeah, I don't recall anybody dying from any of this. But somebody dies with spring break every year. Somebody gets kidnapped. Somebody gets murdered. Somebody is every year. That shit happens with spring break. They don't want to do no videos and shows on that shit though. Ain't that some shit? But what's up, Hoodie? What's up, Hoodie? Clark said, woo, woo. Everybody said, hey to Hoodie. He said, hey to Clark. He said, see, they can't even keep their mouth shut. Talk about control, right? He said, the only difference with Freaknik and Diddy parties, well-known public figures was there as Diddy himself. Playboy Mansion is known for it, but we all know there's a difference with the color. That's exactly the point. Exactly the point right there, okay? Pathetic. You said, whoa. You said, ooh, child. You said, oh, wow. You said, Photon just say things just to get a reaction. We all know better. Yeah, for sure. You said, beautiful. You said, gonna say he was trolling. Mm-hmm. Of course he is. You said, folks ain't claiming shit. Folks don't fuck with the folk in the space. They don't like it. But folk be there. Right, exactly. And wonder why, right? You said, I told y'all. You said, see, one day you're going to appreciate Smoke for not selling out. You said, repulsive. You said, and fucking annoying, child. You said, Hoodie, hey. Let's see. Girl. You said, but the shit other folks is cool. Okay, weird, but okay. Yeah, right. You said, right. He did say for them to die. Mm-hmm. You said, damn. You said, do. You said selective outrage because they supposed to be on one accord to hate on y'all. Why would Star go against Remix? Well, that's just stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's a stupid idea to begin with, to be, oh, we need to be on one accord with y'all. None of us are thinking that way. You know what I'm saying? We know we can disagree with each other and be okay with that. It's not, a thing of us having to be in one space and on one accord. Where do they get this from? Where do they get this idea that everybody's supposed to have group thinking, right? But then they call us the group thinkers, right? So it doesn't make sense to have that selective outrage and be like, oh, I'm supposed to be on one accord with you. So therefore, if you talk about R-wording children, I'm not going to care, but I'm going to make this look like this guy saying he wants to kill my kids, when that's not really what he said, right? He really didn't say that. And she showed the receipt where, he didn't actually say that. He said, I told y'all that is the Diddy effect, that they get mad because I don't talk like that. Neither do I engage with men talking like that. Right. And thank God, because that's just ridiculous. He said the shits that comes out of their dick suckers has been Wayne, Mo fucked up. Okay, exactly, both fucked up. You said the nerve. She brought up the situation that happened between me and Spottum after she promised not to do it just to get at Spottum. Yep. About your about that situation. Yeah, that was pretty fucked up. But that's what she does. That's the kind of shit she does. You said beautiful. Wait, what honey? I definitely missed that. Yeah, it was a while ago, and I don't want to talk about that, but she did do that. You said beautiful. Sorry, I didn't see any of it. She is horrible. She really is. She's just evil. She doesn't care. She only cares about herself. You said that motherfucking bitch ain't got a fucking soul. That shit she has said, folks didn't deserve that shit. Exactly. You said the fact that folks giggle about certain shit is weird as fuck. Weird as hell. But you want us to pretend that this man has somehow, done you so fucked up and so wrong, and we got to keep going to that. You said, damn, my opinion, it's all right. What happened between me and Spottum was many moons ago. He apologized and moved on, and we would try to bring up what happened, and Binary didn't want her to talk about it on his panel. Yeah, I remember that. Hey, we appreciate you being in the building, bro. You said beautiful. You said thank you, honey. Basically, her same pattern. Yep, her seen that fucking movie too. He said, cracks me up when she says she doesn't lie. Okay, like what? He said, damn, my opinion, his show, she said she wouldn't bring it up knowing at the time it was a sensitive topic for me, but she tried to bring it back up a little while ago once she joined the AFWs. Thank you, I appreciate that. You said too big. You said, has Binary ever told you he really is besides what we really see? LOL. I don't know. It said Clark there. It's an ongoing exhibit at the Met before yesterday. We could fly. An Afrofuturist period room is about 19th century community of Black landowners and tenants. Oh, wow. I would love to see that. You said too big. Well, she can say that. However, the recordings and videos don't lie. Yep. That's just what it is, right? That's what it is for them, that they don't understand that we've watched the same shows that they have. You know what I'm saying? And they be trying to rewrite history and act like this happened and that happened. And we were all here for all the same shit. So, no, that didn't happen. You said beautiful SMH. Then she wonders why it's just her. Exactly. You said, damn, my opinion, I can't stand that lady. Okay. You said he kept changing the story. You said facts, Clark. You said, I'm no joke. Thank you. I'll see that. You said too big. I had genuine feelings. Unfortunately, as strong as it was, it's as strong as it is. You said, damn, my opinion. You said, she's another one who is stuck in a perpetual glitch. It will never stop. I want to say something about something else she said, right? Because she kept trying to show this alleged email from Triggs, right? I don't know if it's really from him or not. I don't know what it is. Triggs, that's my people's, man. I ain't gonna be acting like, it's all this deep state shit that this nigga be doing, to be fucking up shit and all this other shit. First of all, some of these niggas really take this king and queen of the sector to the heart way too fucking much. Like, they really fucking do. They spend way too much time caring about an internet themed, show. Like I said, it's nice to be a content creator and to get acknowledgement of the things that you've done, things that you've accomplished as a content creator. That's always nice, right? But it's not, at the end of the day, it's not that serious, right? It's not that deep where it requires, all this extra shit that they be feeling and that they be doing. So, I just wanted to say that because, Stargate was trying to show us some alleged receipt of Triggs saying something in regards to, hey, I found a way of a loophole through LV's voting system, right? And, I've always thought for a long time, I ain't gonna hold you, and it had nothing to do with Triggs at all. I had always said, and I think this was something that we voiced on LV's show many, many, many times, right? Of how people, since the beginning of these little voting things that we do, right? Since the beginning of this, people have constantly said, hey, People are using multiple chats and multiple channels to do their votes, right? There's been times where that's most definitely been a fact because, we might have like 70 people in the chat, but like 140 people voted, you know what I'm saying? And shit like that. We've seen this in the history of these live streams with this stuff. But at the end of the day, even if that does happen, it's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that big of a deal where, it has to be where everybody is fighting over it and different shit like this. And, we mad at each other and all this other shit over this stuff. It's not really that serious. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure what, Star is, what she really thinks. I'm not sure why she always thinks there's some conspiracy to every little thing that happens. You know what I'm saying? And even if Triggs did tell her, like, hey, I found a little loophole, and basically, we can just get into some other troll accounts and double the numbers, right? And I'm pretty sure that particular live stream, I was trying to look for it to see which one it was. I'm thinking it was the one where Star actually won Queen of the Sector, okay? Because she did win Queen of the Sector. She had lied last night and tried to say that, no, they just crowned her Queen of the Sector one day. And that's not true. It was an actual, she did win like Godmother or Godmother Classics or one of those, right? It was either the Godmother one or it was the Queen of the Sector, but I'm pretty sure it was the Godmother one that Stargate won. She even went on this tirade, and this is why people call her Diaper Booty, is because she went on this tirade and got on her show, went on her community wall and posted a picture of her with this diaper-looking ass, okay? Saying that she won, that she won Godmother, okay? And so that's what that, kind of comes from with that whole thing. So if Triggs did that, if he told her that, he was probably telling her that so that she could win. And she ended up winning. And she said that, she was like excited about it and that she was all for doing this shit. So who cares at the end of the day? Like, it's not this big catastrophe if, because I can't imagine how many people are actually doing that shit, right? Like, I'm pretty sure there are multiple people in the sector that go into their troll accounts and vote on these fucking these awards and shit like that. But ultimately speaking, the sector speaks for who they fuck with. That's just what it is, right? They're going to vote on, in that situation for who they fuck with, even if they're using troll accounts and all this other stuff. It's rigged and it's not that deep. Like, it's really not that fucking deep, y'all. It's not like it's the president of the United States, right? Or they're going for, some CEO of some company or something like this. This is just YouTube, man. And we're having fun and we're enjoying, this fun shit. And, if y'all are doing that shit, that's just actually hilarious. Okay. So, it's not that deep, especially if that happened last night as well, and I was happy with what the outcome was, that Triggs won the fucking, King of the Sector. So, it is what it is. I mean, last year, we know that happened with Verla, right? It is what it is, right? But people are going to vote for whoever they want to. And we make it fun. We make it enjoyable for ourselves. It don't have to be like a stick is up our ass, right? Over this, oh, well, it's some conspiracy and behind the scenes and he's so scary, like, it's not that fucking deep. So shout out to Triggs if he did tell her that shit. You said she's another one who is stuck. Okay, I think I read that. You said Clark back in the 1850s, the village was comprised homes, churches, cemeteries, school gardens of Lower Manhattan. Ownership freedom in 1857. They got pushed out, and it's Central Park. I'm going, okay. You said, Ray Triggs, are you still here? Those conversations ain't going to work, I don't think. You said, LOL, Shakem 40. You said, too big, ain't saying shit else. You said, hey, Black Lounge. Hey, VS Speaks, I appreciate you being in the building. You said, I wonder if she goes on vacation or ever left the country. Probably not, to be honest with you. Probably never. Yeah. Which is crazy. Like, fuck that. Like, you can go on a staycation, like, even in your own town, right? If you can't afford to just go out of town, everybody can't. Just go somewhere for a weekend. Just by yourself. Enjoy your life. Leave your phone, or at least turn that shit off, or whatever. But just, she gotta get out more. All these people gotta get out more. He said, I'm no joke. Seneca Village, yeah. He said the history, all the courts downtown are on formerly black-owned property. The federal buildings, all of it. That's a damn shame. He said, VS speaks. You said, royally. He said, smoke crazy, child. He said, Clark, I learned about it later in life. A lot of people don't know that, and I feel black youth should know about their history. I wasn't taught this school. I was born and raised in New York City. Yeah, a lot of us weren't taught about our true black history, right? They tell us what they want us to believe. And there's so many people that are still ignorant to those beliefs, or to those things, that they have no idea what's really going on. And it's not really our fault. He said, hello, Miss, hey, the beautiful Bernice. I appreciate you being in the building, sis. He said, snakes on the internet, child. He said, beautiful. It's about for us. Life been life. I have a few more loose ends. We're roading trips to see other sisters. We're road tripping to see other sisters, then cruise. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's what's up. Yeah, you got to get out the house, man. He said, I'm no joke. It's unfortunate. A lot of things happen in New York that folks don't know about or talk about. That's a fact. All up and down the East Coast. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of rich black history here in Delaware too, that a lot of people don't discuss. They just got rid of the whipping post in southern Delaware. I was gonna say maybe in 2022 they got rid of that whipping post, somewhere around there, 21 or 22. He says she's been monetized without the dick. He said maybe she had a thing for Triggs undercover. I think so. It's just the way that she just keeps obsessing over him. Somebody who, even if you did talk to him a couple times on the phone, or even if you did, get a couple cash apps or whatever you got or whatever, it shouldn't be this level of emotions over this man. Like, it really should not. You said between Triggs and Ankh, we will never stop hearing about these two men, okay? He said, hey, beautiful Bernice, what's up? He said, so true, Clark. He said, I'm no joke. I'm chilling on a Sunday. He said, the beautiful Bernice, Clarky. He said, wait, his trolling, honestly entertaining. Right. Facts. He said, Divine, never to be forgotten. Ankh would win King of the Secktah for real. Facts. He said, beautiful Ray told us who he was and is on how many occasions. Plus his ass shows us the shits, folks. Okay, exactly. He said, low key, I felt that. He said, Ankh bottom bitch. Oh, Lord, I got to get off of here. I'm way behind on these chats. He said, insane. He said, I'm surprised Ankh isn't king, the Obi-Wan of the whole sector, due to he is the reason for all of this. Clark. Okay. Thanks. He says she does, though. Every panel she hits, she ruins it. It's the truth. I mean, he was not lying when he said that shit. Like, every time she gets on a panel, she literally changes the vibe of the show. It just completely, everybody could be having a great time, and here she come, and it's just all this stuff about this perpetual victimhood, and oh my God, all of them do it. Every single one. Break and do the same shit. She hit the panel just to change the vibe, Everybody having a good time. That's some demonic shit in itself. Everybody's having a great time and enjoying themselves. And here come these bitches. They just can't stand that we're having a great time and enjoying ourselves. How dare we be doing that, right? Like, when you could just go to a space where you could have a good time and enjoy yourself too. Why do you keep coming to spaces where people don't fuck with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, we just don't fuck with y'all bitches. Like, it just is what it is, But y'all keep coming around. Like, it's just fucking nuts. It's fucking crazy. He said, Divine, exactly. He said, D7, just a friendly reminder. QT. You said shout out to Mr. Tiggs and Mr. Ark, okay? You said Clark, I've noticed the book collection of Tiffany and Company's Edward C. Moore exhibit is still showing through November 12th. So only a few more days. I've seen, enjoyed it, was beautiful. I urge you to see it. Clark said QT. He said Clark is at the Met. He said, I'm no joke. I will check it out. I love the Met. He said, Photon always think he is slick. He envies people that has popular platforms. He always dissing YouTube cameras. For what reason? I think he's jealous of her. As he's jealous of everybody, right? But again, at least he can just acknowledge that shit, that he do be trying to trigger motherfuckers and he be trying to talk his shit, you know. Because it's so bizarre. Like the way he acts is so weird. You know what I'm saying? It's just so, it's hard to understand. It's hard to follow him. You know, it just is what it is. He said, Photon blocked me because I'm always calling on his nonsense. Me too. Same for me. But I don't give a fuck. Oh, shit. Everything I said about Photon is still up and live. So, oh, well. You said a lot of obsession. Okay. Oh, a lot. You said, yo, you got to go outside, right? I'm just saying. Go the fuck outside. You said, I'm the king of the sector and I don't be on here. Hey, Death Test Karma, I appreciate you being in the building. You said, I'm like Kendrick. I'm claiming my throne. Okay, shit. You said, Triggs is definitely king. Didn't need to cheat. Right. You said, wasn't there an issue when Tiff P won? Yeah, allegedly, right? You said QT, yes. I think it was Star that had an issue when Tiff P won. She even had an issue when Verla won last year. She was trying to get up there and take Verla's shine. Like it was a bunch of bullshit. They always just on some bullshit with this shit. But they take this shit so fucking serious. It's not that fucking deep, y'all. He said after that 8%, I doubt it was rigged. Right. Like it's you know, the sector's gonna speak, the sector spoken. It is what it is, you know. You said that's fucking crazy. A whooping post though, yeah, for sure. Yep, they just removed that shit. You said, Auntie, I ain't gonna let them forget. You said, Lord, you said, laughing my ass off. You said, I adore you, darlings. You said, too big. Where are you talking about me hitting panels and killing the vibe? LOL. You said, Divine 8. You said, maybe Divine 8%. You said, maybe they did vote for him either. You said, laughing my ass off. Uh-huh. You said, hey, sweetheart. You said, damn my opinion, and AKA HR, I'm filing a claim. You said, Auntie, we in this thing. I adore you. You said, VS side. Okay, honey, leave it on my desk too big. All right, y'all. So we are done. I appreciate all of y'all for coming today and hanging out with the pre. Make sure y'all do hit the like button on the way out. And yeah, I will see y'all tonight at LV's channel. If one of the mods can put LV's show in the chat so that everybody can go over and subscribe, and make sure that you watched King of the Sector from last night. And tonight, I believe the show starts at, let me take a look real quick. Let me take a look real quick what time the show starts. Oh, for the mod that sent me that message, I didn't see that. But yeah, you could have done that. That would have been fine. Hold on. Let's see. My bad. I wasn't looking at my phone. All right. So the show begins. It starts at 8 p.m. tonight. Okay. So everybody be there. Oh, you did put that in the chat. Sorry. Thank you. Beautiful. All right. So it does begin at 8 p.m. tonight. If one of the mods does have a link to it, if you can put it in the chat, I would really appreciate that. Thank you, Clark. I appreciate that. And guys, I appreciate y'all for coming out today. Again, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. As I get time to come live, I will. I don't really, y'all know I've been doing a lot of stuff, so I really haven't had much time to be doing a bunch of shit, but online, or at least one of the live streams. But as soon as I get time to do that, then I definitely will. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you guys soon, and see you guys tonight. And good luck to all the ladies. To me, we're all queens. We've all been queens of the sector. We all have contributed to our sector, but shout out to all of you and the new ones. I really appreciate y'all. And the ones coming out now, we got YM going live. Hopefully she'll be going live soon. We got a Clark, hopefully she'll start going live too. Because I'm going to tell y'all, it all starts with hitting the panel. That's how I started going live. I was hitting panels, So now that y'all have gotten the feel of hitting the panel and speaking up and saying shit, hey, I'm expecting y'all, Miss Murph and Teresa and Clark and, well, Divine already doing her thing, right? But yeah, I expect y'all to start going live too. I'm looking forward to hearing what y'all have to say because I actually enjoy listening to y'all on the panels, right? YM is fucking funny. Like, shit, that bitch fucking funny. Okay. So, and so is Clark. I really fucking like her too. So I'm looking forward to it. Teresa, you already know we all adores you. Okay. So we're looking forward to that. And Mrs. Murph is so sweet and so kind, and she done hit panels now. And yeah, so looking forward to y'all. I will talk to y'all tonight at LV's show. And peace, guys. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out in the lounge.